Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first episode. Totally the first. We've definitely not done an episode 0 or anything. Premiere episode of Roll20 Presents Dungeons and Dragons, Baldur's Gate, Descent into Avernus. Well, I'm tired. That's all I can handle. I'm going to go. Y'all just run your own game.
Yeah, okay.
I think this is the longest title of any campaign we've played so far.
Is Descent into Avernus longer title-wise than Tomb of Annihilation? Like,
that's
Annihilation
but
is
Tomb
a
of Annihilation.
big word.
Tomb of Annihilation wasn't.
Okay, you're right.
Wasn't Port
right.
Nyanzaru : Tomb of Annihilation.
No, you're right.
Yeah. What we really need is we need some DLC for Descent into Avernus so that it can be Roll20 Presents Dungeons and Dragons Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus :
whatever.
You're right, exactly. Like Villa of Shadows.
We go to hell a second time.
That's right, back to hell. So this is a brand new campaign. We have all played together lots and lots of times. You might recognize this motley crew minus the empty box from Tomb of Annihilation or Dragon Hoist. We were talking, somebody in chat was talking about how we need to try to hoist Zariel. But I feel like you do not touch Zariel without Zariel's permission, so we'll get there.
Even with her permission, it's probably
I feel exactly. I feel like it's a trap. If Zariel's like, "Hey, come over here, come here, touch me," you're like, "No."
I'm just imagining the like, "Come here, give me a hug." Hugs you burst into flames.
Yeah, no hugs from Zariel. No hugs from Zariel.
She just cast Hellish Rebuke every possible, every round.
Wish I could cast Hellish Rebuke. I wish that was a thing. So we're starting a brand new Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Today is the very first episode. We're going to be rejoined by our Aasimar Paladin, Bryn Aurum, in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now. She's in Korea right now, or will be soon. Enjoy your Korea, Random Tuesday. But she will be back. And in the meantime, I have to be very, very gentle with these 3 delicate first level babies.
Do not destroy us. We are all hybrid or spellcaster classes. Do not break.
Overwhelmingly, the feedback that I was getting during my DM prep, which you haven't watched it after this episode, go to the Roll20 app YouTube and watch it. The overwhelming feedback I was getting was, "This is for level 1 characters? ? Exclamation mark. So I'm excited.
Oh, no. Okay.
I'm excited. It
Work
should be
on some 6 strats to cheat.
I mean, we just have to wait until I'm level 2 and I could be like a squishy animal instead of a squishy.
Yeah, and then we can get to the part where everybody in chat was saying, "This is for level 2 characters? ? Exclamation mark.
It sounds like they want to kill you before you get to play the game.
Well, someone in chat did mention earlier, and I thought this was a great point. The speedrun strat is to make an evil character die right away. You get to skip all the beginning stuff, and you just start right in hell.
Straight to hell, yeah.
Right straight to hell, right? Make an evil character, jump off a bridge, problem solved. Boom. You get to start in Avernus.
Oh shit! The secret ending, or the secret skip.
Secret middle, yeah. But can you gain XP if you're dead?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you're a lemure, I think that's.
I mean, that's how devils and demons work, right? Like you start out low and you get high.
I mean, yeah, that's how some things work.
If my high school experience playing Dungeons and Dragons is any indication, yes, correct.
You start out low and then you get high.
Yep.
My first DM was a massive pothead. And God love him, he was just great. I love that guy. I learned everything I know from Pat Brown. So we're gonna start a new campaign today. I think. What do y'all think? Should we do box text and then character descriptions? Do you want the intro first and then we'll set it in a place?
I like the film intro where either you focus on like a person stepping into a room or you like pan back to all of Baldur's Gate and then zoom in on the people.
Yes, that would be my personal style, but I think maybe I'll read you the box text, then we can set the characters. Since we did a character creation session, the only new stuff is going to be any finalized appearance or name stuff. So we can do that after the intro. If you want like little finite granular details, go ahead and watch episode 0 where we made our characters on stream. I mean, don't do that now. Stay where you are. Stay here with us. But when we're done, you can go back and do that.
hang out with us presently and then hang out with us in the past.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Okay, well, yeah, let me get out this beautiful box of text here. Let me unpack this box text and I will read it to you. Let me put on my best dungeon master voice and we will begin our adventure. So, welcome to Baldur's Gate, a veritable nest of rats and vipers clinging to the rocky slopes overlooking the Chionthar River. From their high perches in the upper city, the local nobles, known as patriarchs, gaze down with veiled contempt upon the common rabble in the grimy lower city, which hugs the foggy harbor. The whole of Baldur's Gate reeks of blood, crime, and opportunity. One can easily fathom why pirates and traders are drawn to this place like flies to a carcass. Following the river farther east would eventually lead you to Elturel, capital of the Holy Land of Elturgard. Or, at least, that was the case until a few days ago. The flood of refugees from Elturel has gotten worse since news first arrived that the city has fallen. Everyone is saying Baldur's Gate is next, but no one truly knows who or what has claimed Elturel. The Patriarchs pay a mercenary army called the Flaming Fist to protect their interests in Baldur's Gate and, by extension, the city itself. The Flaming Fist has gained even more power since their charismatic leader, Uldur Ravengard, claimed the title of Grand Duke a few years ago. Apparently, Ravengard is missing. In his absence, the Flaming Fist has sealed the city's gates to staunch the flow of refugees. No one is allowed in or out. All of this was brought to your attention shortly after you were drafted by the Flaming Fist to help defend the city. Your orders are to speak to Captain Zodge at the Basilisk Gate, which pierces the city's eastern wall and takes its name from the various statues that rest in its niches and perch atop its battlements. Unseen beyond the sealed Basilisk Gate, a dirt road stretches through the outer city slums to the bridge, known as Worm's Crossing, then to distant realms beyond. Dozens of Flaming Fist soldiers are trying to control an angry mob of commoners eager to leave the city, armed with only a vague description of Captain Zodge, a tall man with long black hair and a leather eye patch. It takes you a while to find him. A fight breaks out between soldiers and commoners, and you finally spot the one-eyed captain as he wades into the fray and begins throwing punches. Just another day in the City of Blood. I did not know that was Baldur's Gate's other name. Cool.
The City of Blood.
Another day.
Zodge?
Just another day in the Windy Apple. Yeah, so things are bad in Baldur's Gate. I mean, always. But you've been drafted by the Flaming Fist. Maybe a mutual acquaintance of yours either helped or hooked you into doing this job.
Oh, yeah,
and
sorry,
Have
you
they
have been
tried
sent
making
to
Edelgard pay for a wall? Is my question.
So you are on your way to, or I think you've just arrived, and you see Captain Zodge, who pretty much rolls up his sleeves and does a all right then and dives into the fray. And you see a bunch of you. I think you arrive as this fight is kind of like calming down. People are being thrown around, arrested, beaten up. And and you see this group of them, of these Flaming Fists kind of dealing with these commoners. And among them is Captain Zodge. So I figure it's Baldur's Gate, so it's probably like kind of like rainy and like sludgy out. I imagine that the streets are muddy. There's down here by the bridge, there'd be like, or by the gate, there'd be like cobblestone streets, but they'd be pretty worn down, I think. And so there's puddles of mud everywhere and big crowds of commoners, both ironically trying to get in and out of Baldur's Gate. Outside, people of Elturgard trying to get in, people from outside being like, Baldur's Gate's next, I'm out of here. I got relatives in, I don't know, Waterdeep. I'm going to go there. So the scene would be, I guess, the shot of the city fade to the crowd of rain-soaked, kind of miserable people. And then you see this captain who I didn't realize he had an eye patch when I was originally doing my GM prep, and now I just imagine Majima from the Yakuza series. I wasn't thinking about it before, but I definitely am now. So you see Captain Zodge, and he's in there karate chopping people. And then we pan across to see the three of you kind of emerge into the open. Would you like to describe your characters for us so we can get a handle on what you look like?
Who do you think is tallest? Definitely not. So
Either Sathra or November Solace, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, I imagine Sathra's like 5'10".
Okay.
I'm the tallest.
All right, so I'd say you're tallest. Do we want to be like in a cool row, or it's like person,
Height row.
gnome?
Is it, Dave? Is it the Sverfneblin that get the like? No, that's I'm thinking of Durgar, the ones that grow giant. That's dwarves. That's never mind.
Yeah, that's dwarves.
Okay,
Dwarf.
so you figure Sathra and November are probably about the same height.
I mean, I'm a little shorter, but my horns make me the same height.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got horn height.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got horn height.
All right,
Okay,
well then why don't we start with Sathra? What do you elf? Tell us what we see. So it's rainy, it's gloomy, and then you get
upon
to step
first
out.
glance at Sathra, as the camera like pans past the three of them, you see that she is like almost entirely covered in like a brown like overcoat or like cloak, like robe sort of thing. And like her hood is up, and she's got like wraps around her face as well, as trying to be like very, very concealed. But on the like footsteps forward to see the captain, you can hear the sound of like, clattering on her belt, or like the movement of armor underneath all of this sort of like covered like cloth.
Yeah.
As if it's all like, I'm trying to be inconspicuous, but I'm also definitely armed.
Well, yeah, and you're bulkier than you would be if you were just wearing the cloak over clothes, right? Like wider. Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely got like some scale mail under there.
Got some World of Warcraft pauldrons on.
Yeah, we're not quite at that level. But she definitely like you can see some of the like glints of like worn steel underneath when she moves.
Okay.
And anything else? Heavy leather boots, like heavy looking, like they've been a long way.
Do we have the like Addams Family like light just on?
I was
your
about to
eyes?
say, yeah. Do we get did you have like snake eyes? Do we see
Yes,
that?
she definitely does. They're like yellow and slitted.
Cool. Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Shot of like the light on the eyes.
Cool. Okay, cool. And then probably, I think November, you're probably the next person that we.
Yeah, so it's a very stark contrast, because where Sathra wants to blend into the background, November can't help but stand out. For one, she kind of looks like a corpse, because her eyes are super, super clouded and opaque, in a way that tiefling eyes are sometimes just one color with no pupil. Hers are white. You can't tell if it's blindness or just how she is unless you ask. She has very, very pale skin, and pale hair that ends in like color, like blue, like light blue, and then horns showing that she's a tiefling coming up out of her hair. She doesn't wear any kind of like head dressing. She is wearing leather armor. It's also painted white and looks extremely decorative. Definitely doesn't look like it's ever seen a fight. She's holding a staff, but also it looks like it's decorative. It has like painted icicles on the top, but it's not real ice or magic of any kind. It's just a cool looking staff. And the air around her is like seems colder than even like the rainy street. If you looked close enough, you might see that like when a raindrop like got near enough to her, it just turned into snow and then landed.
If Sathra stands within 5 feet of you for too long, she gets sleepy.
Yeah. She's like, I'm gonna go to bed. She's about average height, so a little bit shorter than Sathra, and is probably holding a dog by the like harness and trying to keep him out of whatever fighting and also mud.
Yeah. How big is your dog?
So her dog is like not like a wolf sized. It's like a husky. It is a husky. And he has like a light, like those light bright blue husky eyes. And he's a good boy, so he's probably sitting there and like wagging his little tail on the ground, but not like trying to go after anything or smell any smells. He's a good boy. He's probably like knee height when he's sitting, maybe a little bit like half thigh height, just average size for a husky.
Well, when we're down, the camera is down at husky level. I imagine that's the first time that we see your character, Dave. Oh, and sorry, Dave, before you describe your character, Blue Jay, what is your character's full name? I definitely couldn't fit it on the overlay.
Yeah, the ... is because her full name is November Solace, one with the ephemeral everything. And I don't know if it's the naming structure of her people, but like whenever she has a new or different experience that is really like formative, she adds to it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So we pan down and we see this very eager dog kind of at your side, November. And then next to or nearby, we see our third party member. Dave, you want to describe your character?
Yeah. Tiny little, a gnome, a 3 feet tall gnome. You can't really see very much of because they're mostly comprised of a really big wizard hat. I think probably pointy at one point. It's got the kind of flop on the end by now.
Mm-hmm.
All in relatively dark colors, wearing a robe as well that matches. The hat itself is characterized by it has like a scary face, like sewn into it.
So kind of like the Sorting Hat from Harry Potter, like that kind of like scowly face on the front of it, or is it more like cartoony?
It's a little bit more cartoony because I think they sewed it themselves and not very good at it. But if you look closely, you can see peering out from the eyes, there are actually holes. And if you look in, you might catch some little cat eyes because their familiar sits inside their hat and looks out of the eye holes on the face.
That's perfect.
Yeah, and most of Cesara's like face is covered by the wide, low brim of this oversized hat, and then they have kind of nice robes, which are a bit tatty at the ends because they're too big. So there's lots of like wear on the hems and stuff like that, and then a kind of cheap, dull wooden staff as well. One bit you would see of Sorcero's face is glowing silvery eyes that seem to take a bunch of the light.
Cool.
Like fishy stars.
Nice. Cool. So we're gonna get like official art made of the characters, but for now, I did my best. I scoured the marketplace for tokens, and I found this one for November. And then there's November's tiny doggo, and then this is the only appropriate snake lady I could find. But I think it's pretty good. She's maybe not wearing the correct accoutrement, but I got the scowl is nice. The little angry face is good. And then I thought this was a nice one for, though too big. I need to make it like about that big.
that big, yeah.
But the funny thing is your cat is normal cat size. So there we go. So these tokens are they're from Yuikami. I've used them before in a couple of other games. They're like my favorite kind of stand-in tokens for stuff. There's a whole bunch of them and they're all really cute, and it was great looking through them and finding them. So I found Ice Princess, Snake Lady, and then Tiny Big Hat, and I am very pleased with these. So we'll use these ones. Okay. So we see the group of you kind of like step out, and the crowd has learned their lesson. Basically, they got a little bit upset. They got a little bit like, you got to let us out. You can't keep us here. We're not prisoners of Baldur's Gate. And the Flaming Fist was like, shut your mouth. And they pulled out their batons and they just started fucking batoning people. So yeah, we see Zodge like wiping commoner blood off of his club. And then a couple of the other Flaming Fists are either dragging away unconscious commoners. You see 2 Flaming Fist guys going through somebody's pockets after he's just been clubbed unconscious. And Zodge is just shouting orders like, get them out of here. You back off. And so you see them all kind of like standing around shouting at people.
Well, seems like a nice fella.
I think that's our man.
Oh, well, this is all relatively distasteful, but fine, whatever. This is what we come to expect living in such a lovely place. The rent's cheap.
I don't really see the problem. Like,
yeah, right, when you say that, we pan over and there's just like some unconscious commoner being like dragged away through the mud. Yeah.
Well, then, should you be the one to speak to him? We'll follow where you lead.
Certainly. I step forward towards our friend, the Flaming Fist captain that we've been told to report to.
Okay. Yeah, and I think
What was his rank? What was his rank again, Adam?
He's a captain. He's Captain Zodge. And I think probably we may as well just go and say that Bryn hooked this up for you. So like you, after the failed coup, and Altus slipped away from you, Altus, your betrayal. You were looking for work, and the recent times of chaos, Bryn set this up for you. And I'm not sure we'll leave it up to Lauren when she comes back to tell us where she was, but she basically put you in touch with Zodge and was like, listen, I got these people, they can fight. Go and meet with the captain and he'll give you work. And yeah, he's a captain for now, but maybe someday he'll be a general. But for now, just a mere Captain Zodge. So yeah, so you see him. He's got the eye patch. He's like spins his baton around and he turns and he sees you approaching.
Captain Zodge.
The same.
Bryn Oram sent us. You wanted some capable people?
I wanted some capable people, but, well, you got to work with what you got. And he looks at November and then down at the dog and then over at this strange hat that has a person under it. and he says, well, Oram said she knew some unusual people, but, well, you're not quite what I expected.
Baldur's Gate's full of unusual people.
Right, and that's what we're trying to prevent. And he looks over at the gate. You can see it kind of like rattling a little. And even from here, you can hear the sounds of unrest from the other side of these refugees trying to get in.
I feel like there's a moment of like, agreed.
Yeah, right. Like, just, it's fine. So he looks at it for a little while and kind of like, strokes his chin. And he turns back and looks at you grimly, maybe wipes some greasy hair out of his face because it's like raining and he's a little sweaty from beating the peasants. He says, this refugee crisis stoked fears that Baldur's Gate might suffer the same fate as El Terrell, of which nothing remains but a hole in the ground, apparently. Our Grand Duke, and he says this like quietly, he kind of leans in case there are people around who haven't heard it yet. He says, our Grand Duke, Alder Ravengard, was visiting El Terrell on some kind of diplomatic mission when the city was destroyed. Coincidence? Nah, I think not. And he kind of gives you a conspiratorial, like, yeah, there's,
Quite right, my good man. No such thing as a coincidence.
Yeah, and he kind of, for the first time, he looks down at Sosrovo and is like, I like the cut of your jib, talking hat. He turns back to November and Sathra, and he says, the Knights of Eltergard call themselves Hell Riders. Few of them escape the destruction and think we're somehow to blame for Elturel's downfall. What a bunch of self-righteous rabble-rousers. We're arresting them on sight, but, all the arrestings left us short-handed to deal with another problem. That's what I need.
Problem.
And he points like, that's what I need you for. He says, Baldur's Gate's long been plagued by followers of the Dead Three. Bane, Ball, Merkel. I thought we'd wiped them out, but apparently not. These purveyors of fear and death are taking advantage of the current crisis to commit murder sprees in the city. As my appointed deputies in this matter, you'll have license to eliminate these wretches on sight.
Sounds like a good deal.
Find their lair and wipe it out. Eliminate anybody who gets in your way and, well, don't you worry about collateral damage. If you do what I say, I'll see each and every one of you receives 200 gold pieces. In addition to, well, my gratitude, which I consider to be worth considerably more.
Sathra had already stopped negotiating when he said, you can kill these guys and we don't care.
Sanctioned murder, you might call it.
Mm.
A few blocks away from the gate is a tavern. Elf Song. A spy of mine named Tarina hangs out there, gathering rumors for the guild. She owes me a favor, so tell her you work for me. Ask her what she knows about the dead three, and for the love of Baldur, be nice. Tarina's got dangerous friends.
Well, not that place with the rats in the cell.
Sathra, if you want to make a history check, you probably know a thing or two about taverns in Baldur's Gate.
Sure. 12?
Let's see. So with a 12, the Elf Song Tavern, you'd pretty much know only the like base level stuff. So it's owned by a guy named Alan Aleth. He's the owner and proprietor.
I'm sorry, Alan Tudyk?
Alan Aleth.
Alan
Alan Alda?
Aleth. No, not Alan. Different. Let me just take a quick sidebar here to discuss some expectations for the campaign. Bullshit Forgotten Realms NPC names are A, all over the place, and B, always fair game to make fun of, so it's cool. So it's owned by, a fairly like he's like an older dude, fairly like uninteresting, just like tavern keeper. But what brings people to the Elf Song Tavern is that randomly, at seemingly like unpredictable intervals, there is singing that fills the tavern with a melancholy song. That's what it's named after. There's like an elvish woman. Apparently it's haunted or cursed or something, but she sings a sad song in Elvish every once in a while. And that's what the tavern is named after. It doesn't seem to have any kind of like deeper connections to the guild or the patriarchs or any of those things. But you recognize it by its name.
All right, cool. The Elf Song. Yes, I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, you're going to need these. And he turns to one of his lieutenants or whatever who has a package that he's opened, and he hands out badges with the sigil of the Flaming Fist on them.
Sweet.
Doesn't really go with my outfit.
It really doesn't. They're like brass and they have the red, and yeah, it's not. So let's see.
I knew this would either start with working with the Flaming Fist or getting arrested by the Flaming Fist.
Yeah, you get one or the other. So this is that little sigil, these diamond shaped badges with the Flaming Fist.
Awesome.
So that everyone knows when they look at you just who you serve. So these are your deputy badges. They are handed out to you. And then really before you get a chance to ask any more questions, Zodge turns because there's another fight seems to be breaking out. and he turns and he looks at you and he says, "Get it done." And he turns and goes into the crowd.
I love that we meet him beating people up. Conversation ends. He goes right back to punching guys.
Yeah, I mean it's the Flaming Fist. This is how they work.
When you find out something you're really really good at, it's kind of your responsibility to do
do it. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
yeah.
You're really good at boot heel oppression.
Yeah,
you know, make sure you're doing it right.
Yeah.
I think that November takes the badge like as it's handed to her, and she looks at it and like looks at her like very fancy new leather armor that like she like it's all white and blue, and this is like red and orange, and she like goes and pins it on the dog's harness instead.
Okay.
And
yeah,
then,
the dog just like wags his tail and looks up at you like it doesn't know what's going on, but it's very excited about it.
Now my dog's a cop. Everybody.
You know, by the time the night is done, that's going to be covered in blood anyway.
Well, I was really hoping that, I mean, she seems more prepared for wading in. I just stand farther back and maybe, I'm sure they have good launder.
I certainly hope this isn't just a meeting. Sure. I like
Yes, you seem very enthusiastic, so I thought I'd let you handle it.
I am very much. And then I say, I turn like looking at the party, like the Elf Song Tavern. Then
Sure.
All right.
follow me. Like, off we go.
Okay.
Ooh, it's a
All right.
map.
Yeah. So here is the aforementioned city of Baldur's Gate. So the Chianthar River is what the source of this water is, and it leads, if it goes west, it goes out to the Sword Coast and then out into the ocean, east to Elturel and Elturgard. You, my dear friends, are, let's see here. You're over here at the Basilisk Gate.
Mm.
And the Elf Song Tavern is over here.
Oh, okay. Looks like a pretty straight shot.
Yeah.
Academic question for you, Adam.
Yeah.
Is Baldur's Gate larger or smaller than Waterdeep?
It is, I think it's considerably smaller.
I thought so, but I want to just make sure that, like, scale-wise.
Yeah, so Baldur's Gate is, let's see, there's like, of course I can't look it up because there's this video game that's also called Baldur's Gate, and that's all. Maybe you've heard of it.
All right,
let's
well,
see.
that's all I need to know, if it was bigger or smaller. If you
Yeah,
think it's
I'm curious.
bigger, then I'm cool.
I want to look. It is.
I do know the aesthetics are quite different, but
Okay, so it's between 120,000 and 140,000 people as of a census taken, what, like 20 years ago? I think in the 70s.
okay.
Okay, cool.
In the 70s, like the 1370s?
No, the 1470s. It's 1492.
It's,
today.
1492. I kept
Yeah.
thinking it was 1420 for some reason, probably because of all the getting high.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So there's 140,000 people, which means it is, let's see, Waterdeep. I imagine that there's probably like a swell in the population right now because of the
refugees.
The refugees that got in. Yeah. Waterdeep is, survey says, 2 million.
Okay, yeah, much smaller. All right.
Yeah, give or take. Okay. Cool. So yeah, much smaller, denser concentration of badness. Okay, so you're heading from the Basilisk Gate through the lower city towards the Elf Song Tavern. Yeah, and is there any preparation that you want to be doing along the way? Any conversation you're having, or do you just sort of like trudge quietly through the muck?
Do we have any idea of what the buildings are in between? Like, are there like shops and things? Are these like people's houses? Like, what are we passing?
Well, so there's essentially like 3 layers of quality living vis-a-vis Baldur's Gate, right? If you live in the upper city, you're rich and things are probably mostly okay. You live in the lower city, there's not a lot of middle class in Baldur's Gate, so you're probably poor. And then if you live in the outer city, you're like super poor. So this is the lower city. It's fine. It's everywhere else in the world would probably call it like bad, but it's fine for Baldur's Gate. I imagine that it's mostly down by the gate. It's mostly like way houses for travelers who've just arrived in Baldur's Gate after a long time on the road who need to rest. Probably some taverns, some warehouses for like land cargo.
Yeah.
But as a result of being in the lower city, like, you know, crime and what have you, there's a fairly common thing when walking through the lower city called "Are they asleep or is it a corpse?" Where you know you peer into an alley and you see someone just like lying there on their face, and you're like, maybe they're super drunk or maybe they're a corpse. We don't know. Baldur's Gate has seen some.
We don't know, and Baldur's Gate doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, and I think that as you walk, you see some graffiti on a wall that says "They live" in huge letters, and then there's 3 skulls, and then a badly drawn like a fist and a knife and some tears, and that's pretty common around the city. Like you've noticed in the lower city, a lot more of that Dead 3 like style like signs that they maybe lurk in this place still.
So we were instructed to go talk to, sorry, what was her name?
Tarina,
and that she had some dangerous friends.
Yes, just be nice to her because she's well connected.
And she's staying at a tavern in an area that's known for people that like just got off the road.
No, the Elf Song is a little further in. You can see it's like a ways off. It's a few blocks away. And it's just kind of a middle of the road, like fantasy tavern. Honestly, it probably has like 16 bars of looping background with the occasional like triggering of the singing.
So, Zaj, Captain Zaj, he instructed us to be kind to this woman. Should we bring a gift or?
Oh my God, awesome.
Do you have something in mind?
Well, she's already at a tavern, so I don't think alcohol would be appropriate.
Well, you're welcome to use any gold that you actually own. I am a little bit short. Hence taking on mercenary work for the Flaming Fist.
Ew.
Do you realize that was a pun?
I'm sorry, I'd already forgotten what I said.
Oh. You said short as in funds, but you're also quite short as in height.
Yes.
Sathra is literally following along as if this explanation is incredibly necessary.
That's true. Been a gnome for a very long time. Fairly aware of this facet of my personality.
I just wondered if it was on purpose.
I think perhaps respect is the best gift we can bring. Just be polite.
Sure, that's free.
I mean, I have the tanned hide of it. I don't know if she does. All right.
Perhaps.
Do girls like tanned hides? Is that an appropriate thing to bring to a tavern as a gift?
I mean, I spent a lot of time and effort
I guess it
tanning the
depends on
hide.
the lady in question.
Well, if we see something along the way.
I also happen to think that if we have these badges, she's going to answer the questions that we have for her anyway. So.
Well, sure. But I didn't think, I mean, he specified.
I think it was more be nice in the way the Flaming Fist are nice, as in not punching her face.
Right. We have people we're allowed to kill and people we're not allowed.
This one, no. Others that we find, yes.
Sure. Well, that's one way to be nice. Sure. Well, let's just go there then.
Okay. All right. So, so you have permission to kill anybody who is proven to be a member of the Cult of the Dead 3. The Flaming Fist will not blame you for that. The only other people who might get in your way would be the City Watch, and they mostly take care of the upper city. They mostly don't really care about this part of town. So yeah, you make your way to the Elf Song Tavern. So when you get there, I have a little map for you.
Ooh.
The Elf Song.
Oh, it's got a map, huh?
Oh shit, those are thugs. I know thugs.
So the Elf Song Tavern, you arrive. It's a tavern in Baldur's Gate, right? It's leaky and it's drafty. The central room smells of several days worth of reheated stew. Though there is a faint like pipe smoke, like pipe tobacco smell in the air. And this place has a couple of characters at the front desk here as you come in at the front who immediately grab your attention. The bouncer sitting outside currently in the rain, looking miserable.
Oh, the really big guy. Jesus.
Yeah, she's a half ogre, I think.
Awesome.
And she's just sitting there on a stool, much too small for her, being paid far too little to keep an eye on the door. So when you come in, she doesn't really even look at you. She just kind of like casts a glance over you, and then you walk inside.
I make a point to ask her if dogs are allowed.
Okay, so you stop and you look up at her. So she's sitting there, arms folded. She's sitting on a little stool, like tottering back and forth, trying to get comfortable and like leaning against the wall. And you walk up to her.
I'm so sorry. I haven't been here before, but as you can see, I have an animal. Are they allowed in the tavern, or should I leave them here with you? He's very good.
Dog like looks up, wagging his tail, and
He's just like panting, like.
Yeah. She
Looking like an
says,
idiot.
is this some kind of special dog?
No, it's just a dog. I mean, he's very good, like exceptionally good. I would say that's special.
She leans in and kind of squints at it and looks at you and she says, I let weirder things than this in and out of this place.
Right. So that's yes, he's right.
She just shrugs.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, this place has a 1 drink minimum, so.
The dog. Okay, but does it say what kind of drink?
So she doesn't care. You let the dog in. The other thing that is interesting as you come in is the suit of armor, quote unquote, that is standing by the door as you come in. And at first glance, it looks like it's just decorative. It's a slightly rusty suit of armor standing seemingly on its own accord. Someone has painted in amateurish letters on its chest the word "clank" in big red paint letters. And its helmet turns slightly as you come in, as if watching you enter.
Oh, great. Cool.
Yeah.
I think the dog, when it comes in, immediately goes over to sniff the suit of armor.
Okay.
Just like this thing.
Yeah,
And then
it
I'm
doesn't
just
move.
like,
it just looks down.
oh.
Yeah.
It does? It looks...
Yeah, like it looks down when the dog runs over. This thing's clearly animated in some fashion. So you come in and you can see back at the bar. You recognize him, Sathra. It's Alan, the owner. And Alan is either wiping the bar or like cleaning a glass. He switches back and forth between those two activities kind of idly. The room is pretty full. There's mostly human clientele. It's quiet and dark in here. There's no musician. This isn't the yawning portal. There is a subdued and kind of like dingy atmosphere. And everybody around here is either drinking or smoking a pipe or both. And a couple of the tables, the silence is broken by the rattling sound of dice in a wooden cup and then the smack of the cup on the table. And it is clear to you that these people at this table are playing a very popular game here in Baldur's Gate called Baldur's Bones, I think it's called. Yeah, that's right. So Descent into Avernus came with its own mini game. So if you like Gwent or Triple Triad,
baby.
yeah, if you like that Triple Triad, they are playing a very popular game in the taverns of Waterdeep, which I think probably all of you, except maybe November, you wouldn't know it. But let me see if I can find the rules for you. Let's see, because you can definitely.
But I don't have any money. Literally zero money.
Yep. Here we go. Taverns in Baldur's Gate.
Did we get a physical description of this person we're looking for?
No, you did not. You just know her name is...
I know the owner. I'm just going to ask about Tarina.
Tarina, yeah.
Tarina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, here's the rules for Baldur's Bones. Cool.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So it's a game. I'm sure you've played it before, Sathra. So yeah, you come in and I think probably like the people closest to the door give you a like glare, like don't let the breeze in, right? But for the most part, it's just look up, acknowledge that there are new people in the bar, and then just like look back down and don't worry about it.
It's blackjack.
It's blackjack with dice, yeah.
Should we take a table or?
Why don't you sit down and I will speak with the owner about who we're looking for.
I like turn to the suit of armor and I'm just like, can we take any table or do we have to wait to be seated?
Ever been to a tavern?
I look over my shoulder as I'm like walking over towards the bar and I go, any table, November.
I mean, I haven't spent much time at tavern.
So you said this person behind the bars are...
Yeah.
I'll let the others move their tokens to where they want to be before I...
And so Sorovo, this place, like, everything is too big for you. The tables are above your head. The chairs are all at eye level. You're staring at a lot of people's legs.
You get used to it. You live a couple of 100 years when things aren't made for you. There's just a lot of like actually reaching up and climbing up into a stool. Undignified.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I encourage the dog to like sit under the table, kind of, so he's not in the way of anyone else going around.
Okay. Here, I can give you control.
Yeah,
over
I didn't have control over the pup.
Okay. There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Now I can move my good boy.
Okay. All right. So you, the two of you, get a table. The dog sits down. A good dog sits down by your feet.
Starts eating some leftovers that somebody didn't clean up.
Yeah. Maybe eyeballs a rat. And Sathra, you walk up to the table. Okay.
Alan, is it?
And he looks up, and Alan's like I said, he's an older dude. He's a half elf, so he's probably a lot older than he looks, and he looks pretty old. He's got gray hair and
He's like 60, but he's like 140.
Yeah, right. And he's got wrinkles around his eyes, and like he moves a little slower than he maybe used to. And when you come up, he kind of gives you a squint, and he says, "Yeah, I'm Alan."
I feel like when Sathra talks, she makes very direct eye contact.
Yeah, right, like withering eye contact.
Yeah, like absolutely penetrating eye contact.
And like you look away in the hopes that she'll look away too, and then you look back and she's still
looking at you.
She's fucking giving it to you.
Just, like, not embarrassed by the idea of that. Like,
right.
I'm looking for a patron of your establishment. Tarina, the Flaming Fist sent us.
So when you say, do you show him the badge? All right. So his whole attitude changes, and he says, Tarina, I think she's upstairs. Listen, I didn't expect y'all for another few days. I'm still a bit short.
And I lean in. I go, I'll take what you have now.
And he nods and he's like, all right. And he crouches down, and we see from his perspective over his shoulder, he crouches down, and under his bar, there's like a little hook under the bar with like a maul like hanging on it. And he reaches under past that, and he pulls a bag down from like a hidden spot, and he stands up and he puts it on the counter, and it like clatter. It's clearly like a pretty fat bag of gold. I think, I'll let you count it when you get a chance. He puts it on the counter and he slides it ahead, and he says, that should cover both of my businesses. The tavern's a bit light. I'll get you back next week.
Of course. We appreciate your cooperation. Like,
yoink. Nice. Good stuff. Okay. So Alan has said that Tarina is upstairs. But as you turn around, everyone in the bar hears a faint sound of like wind, kind of like whistling through trees or something. And a few people smile and nod at each other knowingly. Alan barely registers, but then the voice that begins to emerge seemingly from nowhere seems to startle Alan. There's something about this that isn't quite right. Does anyone in the party speak Elvish?
Nope.
He speaks Elf.
Oh wait, do I have another?
Yep, I totally do.
Oh yeah, you do.
Okay. All right. So it's beautiful. The song is beautiful and sad. It's clear that it's in Elvish. Everybody needs to make a steel test or be ensorcellated. You don't actually. No, you're fine. So you hear Elven singing, and Sosorovo, you're the only one that understands the lyrics. How is your memory, Sosorovo? Would you be able to just like remember a short song if you heard it once?
Yes. Yeah, the plan is to become keen-minded.
Yeah. Well, and you're a wizard, right? Half of a wizard's job is memorization. So
sure is.
All right. So you should be able to see the lyrics to this Elvish song. And it takes a moment. There's several verses. I think Sathra and November, you, despite it being in Elvish, you pick out the word Elturel a few times. And so you hear this song, and when it completes, everyone in the tavern is kind of looking at each other like, some people are nodding, but Alan looks like pale and sort of confused. And you notice this, Sathra, because you're still standing near him when the song begins to sing.
She doesn't normally sing about current events, does she?
I don't know.
And like over by the counter, I'm like, something the matter?
I just I never heard the song was different.
Do you think that they come to our table, or do we have to go up to the bar to get anything to drink?
I'm hoping she'll bring some back for us, yes.
I'm like, oh, the song's different? I don't care. And then like,
Yeah, right. You're just like, I don't understand it.
dig
Elf,
through
whatever.
like the pouch of money that he just gave me, put like one coin
Mm-hmm.
back on the table, like slide it back across the bar, like drinks for me and my friends.
Right. Yeah. And he gets some mugs and pours three mugs of ale and sets them on the counter.
Just like grab the handles with one hand, and
I definitely, like,
turn
when the
back towards
song
the
was playing, was like looking around to see where it was coming from.
Yeah. Nowhere and everywhere at once. Both filling the room with its melancholy beauty, but also whispered intimately into your ear. And you feel, well, I'm not going to tell you how you feel, but in most people, the song elicits a moment of sadness, of melancholy. God knows, like, if I'm looking for a cool bar to hang out in, I want to go to the one where every once in a while, randomly someone sings and makes you feel bad.
I mean, sad is not necessarily bad. I've watched some movies that have made me sad, and it's been like an enjoyable experience.
Welcome to the Elvish Bummer.
Sathra has no concept of sad.
Yeah. It just is a song. Okay, so Sathra returns to the table. The other peasants that are in here, the other people, they kind of whisper to each other like a little bit like, oh, that was odd. The ones that do notice it, others kind of like smile and are like, yeah, it's the elf song. I've never been here before. I came here to listen to that. Yeah, that's what you hear. And
that song was so touching, and I didn't even know what she was saying.
Well,
Yeah.
I did.
Drinks.
Thank you.
Sorry, what was it?
It's certainly out of the ordinary. I've not been here often, but I mean, it was about the thing that happened.
Elturel sinking into hell.
Yeah, the place that everyone's coming from. You remember? You're paying attention to everything that's happening in the city.
Yes, I've seen it, or something like it.
Yeah, weird that she'd sing about that. Just saying.
Now, a couple of the things in the song might have triggered something for you. Can you make a history check, please?
Sorry, was it clear that
Sorovo?
Elturel had sunk into the ground?
Nobody knows. There's lots of rumors. Some people say that Mistra blasted Elturel off the face of the earth.
Okay.
In a peak of magical fit. Others say that someone was born in Elturel that was so beautiful that soon had to ascend the whole place into heaven to be with her. Like there's
so
there's
the
lots
idea
of
is
different.
just that it's gone.
Yeah, but
theoretically,
the biggest rumor, the one that most people have heard, is that it's gone. That it disappeared and there is a crater in its place. But yeah, so Sorovo, can you make a history check for me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was getting it confused with what you said before.
Yeah, that's
a 14.
A 14. Okay. So there are bits and pieces of it that like remind you of things, right? Like I think you know who the Hell Riders are because you remember Zodge mentioning it, right? So there's that.
I know a lot about the things that are happening right now because of my feature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So the alternative background for Sage here is rumor monger.
Yeah.
surmise a great deal about Baldurian's secrets. He's practicing blah, 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 blah. Whenever a noteworthy crime or mysterious happening occurs in the city, immediately have a list of suspects. I don't need right now, but I assume this extends out at least to, like, why are there coming here?
Yeah, so it's not going to give you specific information about like Elturel, but yeah, you've heard all the rumors and you know which ones are the most or least like likely. And it seems to you what you've heard, all of the silly ones that couldn't possibly be true, but then the general like Elturel hasn't just like fallen to an army, right? It wasn't like monsters swarmed out of the woods and attacked Elturel. It's just gone.
Yeah, and I mean, why would the elf song be about?
Yeah,
give credence to a specific rumor.
Yeah, and I mean, she didn't mention what happened to Elturel. This sounds like a song written a long time ago, right? It isn't like Elturel's gone now. Here's what happened. It's like a historical account about Elturel, but it doesn't make any sense because yeah, she normally sings about how sad she is.
Yep. Wow, that's definitely going down in the. Oh no, wait, that's misspell. But where's the other one?
So our contact is upstairs.
Great. Yeah, let me just.
Should we go upstairs then? Should we bring? And she looks down at the like thing of alcohol that she doesn't even know what kind of alcohol it is, that she hasn't drank any of it yet.
Some sort of ale.
Should we bring? Maybe that's a nice gift.
Oh, you're not going to drink yours?
She like bends over and like sniffs it, and it's like, no.
It's
all right. Then.
It's like it'd be bad. It'd be like 4%, and it would be really watery and kind of like bitter smelling. It's not good beer. No.
All right, then you can offer that up to her. Let's go and find her and be done with this.
Okay. So Sathra, you're just gonna hold on to the bag of money Alan gave you.
Yes.
Okay. All right. There is 25 gold in that bag.
Sweet.
Oh my God, Alan is going to be in so much trouble next week.
I hope I never have to come back here.
Flaming fist. But...
yeah, good.
I hope I never have to come back here.
All right, anyway, so you head upstairs.
For the stairs.
Yeah. So let me gather you up, and I'll put you upstairs because I don't think you can go there.
It's really messing with me because the layout of the Elf Song Tavern in my head is the one from Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, and it's not the same, and it's upsetting me. Like, where's the beholder above the thing?
All right. So you head upstairs, and upstairs you can see there's a set of long tables, and there are a bunch of people in the room.
They're not just commoners; they have art.
They have art. Yeah. So over here, let me get my inhabitants of the Elf Song Tavern. So you see. Let's see. There's a list. Okay, so you see a halfling sitting over here, and she is wearing a colorful, like, quilted cape, and she's currently sitting up on like a little kid. She's sitting up on the bench. Her legs are kind of hanging, and she's like kicking them to the tune of a song in her head, and she's holding on to a big mug of ale, and occasionally will like tip back and drink from it. It's like as big as her torso, right? She's got like this big old like mug of ale. It's an orc-sized mug. So you see that. There's a woman sitting over on this table here, and I think it's a bench. Yeah, so she's sitting on this bench, and she looks like she's calculating something in her head. Right? She's like, you can see her moving her fingers and like making a face. She's human as well.
Is she wearing some kind of like veil in the art?
I don't know. Let me look. No, this is just standard art for, I think, the Acolyte, maybe.
Oh, okay.
And she, you notice too, and Sosurova, you would see this. She has like an eye, like tattooed on her cheek. And if you want to make a religion check, I can tell you what that is.
I would love to.
Aha! I.
Oh.
An 11. Okay, you recognize it as the sigil of some kind of deity, but no way to know what it is. So you see her. Let's see who's at the table down here. There is a half orc who, when you come around the corner, he's like in mid belly laugh. He's just like and he like slams the table, and the dice and the coins around the table all jump. It's clear he's just won a game of whatever it is they're playing. So he's laughing. And then his opponents are a drunk man with no eyebrows. So he's just like bald with no eyebrows. He's wearing like a sailor's garb, and he's just like trying. You can see he's drunk enough that he's having a hard time realizing that he's lost. And then across from him, there is a woman who, despite the token, is not a dwarven man. She is a salty looking badass lady. She has a saber on her belt. She's wearing again like sailor's garb. She has leather armor on, and she has half of her head shaved, and then the rest of her hair is like quite long and
I'm in love with her.
Going a bit gray. And she has a big scar. She has a big scar from like just above her eye, like all the way across the back of her head. Like somebody got her with a sword as she pulled away. So it's a big jagged scar. And she is looking very angry right now at the half orc. Basically, she gets up and she's like, Umberly, take you, Wall. I'm sick of this stupid game. And she turns around and sees the group of you.
I'm very carefully holding a mug like out in front of me. It's very full, and I'm just like trying not to spill it as I walked up the stairs.
Excellent. Okay, and are you holding it kind of like out in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay, so she walks over, she takes a couple steps over, and she takes it from you. And she says, "Took you long enough." And then she looks you up and down, and she's like,
Sorry?
Hang on. Alan doesn't have any waitresses.
Not a waitress, no.
Who in the nine hells are you? And she's like drinking this. She's just drinking your beer.
We're looking for Tarina. Would that be you?
She puts her hands out. She nods and she says, "Aye, you found me, and well met."
Then the ale was for you.
Yes. It's a gift.
She finishes it while you're talking, and then burps loudly and says, "Well, good, because you're not getting it back for at least a half an hour." And she hands you the empty cup, November.
I take it. That's fine. I am November Solace, one with the ephemeral everything.
I'm sorry, whom?
You can call me November.
What kind of a name is November anyway?
I mean, what kind of a name is Tarina?
It's my name. Or
November is mine.
one of them, at least. And she sees, are you all wearing the flaming fist like badges? Or
I definitely have mine on.
Mine's on my dog.
That's right, Cop Dog has it. Sosurova, are you wearing yours?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So she looks at you, Sathra, and points at the badge, and she says, "It's a bold move, wearing that out in the open, just wandering around a tavern like this."
I prefer bold. Now, we're actually here to ask you some questions about what you might know about the local cults.
She raises an eyebrow. "I know a thing or two. Why don't one of you go and fetch me another drink, and I'll tell the other two of you what's what."
November is like, "Oh, okay," and like just turns around and goes to go downstairs. Like, sure.
Oh, November.
Tarina, you see Sosurova and Sathra, you see Tarina you see it, you can watch her in her head. She thinks about swatting November on the butt as she leaves. And then she looks at the dog, and the dog with the little badge just goes like, "Arr," and then she's like, okay, all right, fine. Okay, I won't.
It's the goodest dog.
And then it follows you. November follows you downstairs. Okay, so you go downstairs. And meanwhile, upstairs, Tarina walks back over to the table, and when you see her get there, she looks to the other two, and she says, Knightley, Fane, we're done. Game's over. Fuck off. And they look at each other and look at her, and she's like, you heard me, get out of here. And they get up awkwardly, like, fine. And the half orc says, like, oh, you're just sore because I keep winning. And then they go over to this other table, and they're like, Lala, Lorik, come on, play with us. And so they go over, and then the woman who is counting, she gets up and she's like, I've figured it out. Here's my ante. And she like pulls out a silver coin, and you see them all kind of like get set up to play another round. And then Tarina gestures to the table. It's like, have a seat.
Already sitting.
Yeah. So you just like pull up a seat. So Spervo, do you stand on your seat to like be able to see the table?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And like even sitting is probably still you just see the hat brim instead of face. So.
Okay. Cool.
It's fine.
All right. November, do you have any money?
Yeah, my class came with some money, some gold. I think 10, a pouch of 10 gold.
Okay.
I didn't spend on anything.
So what do you and your dog come downstairs? What do you do?
I feel like she looks around and then goes to the bar, which is where the alcohol came from last time.
Okay. All right.
And she says she like tries to catch the bar person's attention.
Okay. Yeah, Alan. So Alan is doing the same thing that he was doing before, but he has like kind of a haunted look on his face. So now he's wiping the mugs hauntedly. Your dog jumps up on the stool and like puts its paws on the counter.
Yeah, good dog.
And Alan kind of like blinks and looks over, and he's like, sorry.
Is something wrong?
Just song was different.
It's not usually the one that we heard tonight then.
No, it's, I mean, she's singing about Elturel.
I don't understand Elvish.
And he looks you up and down. He says, no, I suppose you mightn't.
What is she saying?
Well, see, that's the thing. Normally she sings about her lost love. Now sometimes the verses are different, but it's always a sad song about loss, romance, and what have you.
Is the singer in another room? Is it some type of magic or?
He leans in. He says, "That's the mystery of it all, isn't it? Some folks say it's a ghost, but I ain't never seen a ghost around here. And well, others say the place is cursed, built on a ancient elven burial ground, but I had no evidence for that neither. So, but it's always the same. And then tonight, just when you and your friends came in, started singing about Elturel, Hell Riders. I don't know anything about that, but seems an ill omen to me. I don't like change.
And you've never spoken to this person, the songstress?
I ain't no speaking to her. She sings, and then she stops. Everyone gets sad for a minute, and then they drink to forget feeling sad. It works out great.
Right. I did come down here for some drinks. Do you have anything that's not as... anything different than the stuff before?
Oh, the ale's not to your liking.
No.
Well, you're in luck, because in addition to ale, I've also got ale, then ale. And if you don't want that, well, I guess you could leave.
I'll take the ale.
Good choice from milady. One second. And he gets a mug, and he looks at you, he's like, how much? Another 3?
She thinks about it for a second and then like tries to remember. Did you two both finish yours before?
I would have, yeah.
Then she nods. Yes, 3.
Okay. All right. And yeah, let me just make it very clear that this is like warm, like
Gross.
PBR. Like it's
Yeah.
not. Yeah, it's the cheapest shit he could get because running the Elf Song Tavern.
Again, is it 2? It's 2 silver or like 1 silver for a drink? Is
No,
it 10
it's coppers.
coppers?
Yeah,
How many?
this joint's like 2 copper a piece.
How many copper are in a gold?
A
100.
lot.
100. So
Yeah.
I'll take 1 gold away and give myself 96.
So you pay him with a gold piece.
That's all I have. I mean,
So he
I
takes it.
assume that-
He takes it. He looks at you. He's like, I can't break this. Oh, hang on. And he like bites it. And he's like, all right. And like
I
goes down under the thing. And
I haven't purchased anything anywhere else yet.
Alan just told you he doesn't like change. And then you give him a gold piece.
I'm so sorry.
And so he comes back from his little lock box under the counter, and he puts some silver on the counter, and he pushes the coins to you, and he says, you and friends better be careful flashing all that money around. And he like looks and he says, because Clank and Skuna, they're here to look after me and my staff. If you get robbed, that's your fault.
Clank's the one. Is that some kind of construct?
No, it's my friend. He's from Eberron. People make that mistake very commonly. So he says, well, old Clank there? Clank's a gift from, let's say, a patron who couldn't pay his bills. Serves me now. Keeps an eye on things.
So you can just pay for his services.
You don't have to. He points. It's a living suit armor. It obeys my every command. It's a magical artifact. You don't gotta pay a magical artifact.
Oh, but you paid to obtain the magical artifact.
Well, I obtained the
it was
magical
given to
artifact
you
in
in
an exchange of default. And kind of looks you up and down. He's like, don't they have banks where you're from?
No.
Well, you're lucky.
Okay. Sorry about the sad elf woman changing her song. I'm sure it'll change back. We didn't do it on purpose.
He shrugs.
I should get back before this gets warmer.
Not a lot of chance of that happening. And actually, I think we look down and you're holding the mugs, which I guess would be like copper or something.
Yeah,
and
they're getting frosty.
There's frost. Yeah, there's like frost on the mugs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So meanwhile, upstairs, you've sat down with Tarina, and she looks at the two of you, and she says, you play? She gestures at the pile of dice on the table.
Of course.
She looks at it and she shakes her head and she says, of all the things I hate about Baldur's Gate, I think this damn game's the worst of them. I never had a gambling problem before. And she squints at the other table and there's some more like shouting and cheering and she's just like, I can't think of a worse sound than having to listen to other people's fun. Where's that drink? Like looks over her shoulder.
Really? That's the worst sound you can think of?
Muttering to herself.
We're not here about Baldur's Bones. We're here to know what you know about the local cults.
Ah, Dead 3, huh? Yeah, I know a thing or two. I'm pretty well connected. I've been hearing things in the guild. But question for you, and by extension, I guess, your friend, the captain, is how much is my information worth to you?
It's worth enough that I'm going to bother to be polite. Please let us know what it is you know.
Where's that accent from? You, some kind of northerner?
Chalt.
You're shitting me.
No.
kind of like gives you a closer look now, like she's noticing maybe you're not human. And she says, "For real?
Very much.
What's it like there?"
A lot of jungle. Very hot. Less murder, actually, than here, strangely.
Well, that ain't hard to do. It's Baldur's Gate, honey.
Ooh, don't call her honey. Ooh, ooh, oh boy.
Just rolls off her pretty much.
Yeah, and she says, "So why'd you leave the jungle? What's so special about Baldur's Gate?"
Well, the jungle doesn't have as many opportunities as Baldur's Gate. It's very boring.
Yeah, well, that's one thing this place ain't.
I don't know. This conversation's not going anywhere fast. Look, get on with this.
I love that the two of them are having this like edgelord conversation about Baldur's Gate. Like, I see opportunity in murder. Good, well, there's plenty of opportunity in town. Well,
they're
right
like,
then.
I'm really taking, so I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, they're a sea bitch worshiper. It's fine. We'll get along. It's fine.
But it's perfect because then Sosorovo's like, she's like, there's never a dull day in Baldur's Gate. And Sosorovo's like, how about today? Today's boring. You're boring me.
Yeah.
So I think that's when you come back upstairs. November.
Yeah, me not a thug.
So it's when you and the dog comes running back upstairs, and I think you notice maybe as you're coming to the table, the dog runs over to the halfling that's sitting on the bench, and like immediately your dog just jumps up on her, and she starts laughing, and she's like obviously super drunk, and she's kind of doing that thing where she's like the dog's licking her, and she's putting her hands up like, oh, no, stop, but she's laughing.
Oh no. So sorry. And like I got like 3 different ales in my hands, and I'm like trying to like, hey, I'll just put this here, and then
I take mine. I hand mine out of her grasp and bring her.
that is very awkward, and I almost spill the other ones. But I don't. Maybe. Do I? What would that be?
You can make a dexterity save if you want to not drop the other 2 beers. Hey, 16.
I get a 16. I don't drop the other beers. Most important dex save of all time.
Okay, so you like kind of stumble them up to the counter or up to the table and put them down, and people take them. The woman in the cape, by the time you go over there, you turn around and your dog is up on its hind legs, like standing, and she's holding her hand up. And she does this, like makes a little turning around gesture, and the dog like turns around.
He's such a good boy.
And she leans in and she like whispers something. And there's a moment where like you can tell that this person just said something that the dog like actually understood, not just like the tone. And then this very chubby faced, quite soused halfling looks up at you, and she says,
I hope he wasn't bothering you.
"Yeah, no, I like the boy." She like gives him a like rub on the head, and she says,
Can you speak with animals? I saw an exchange.
She nods. I can, time to time.
What did you tell him?
Well, that's our little secret, isn't it, pup? And she looks over, and the dog just like barks and like wags his tail.
Well, I suppose I just a bit jealous. I've been trying to learn that, but not quite there yet.
And she nods slowly, and she says, "It's a talent that comes and goes."
Comes more when you're drinking or less?
And she shrugs. Kind of like you can see her trying to like focus on you as like the two of you move around a little.
Right.
And then Tarina drinks the beer that November brought her, and she turns back to Sathra and Sosorovo, and she says, "Well, Zaj sent you, which means I can make use of you. Listen, here's the thing. I've got money, I don't need money in exchange for this information. I'm happy to tell you, but I'm going to need you to do me a little favor first.
That depends.
You don't even have to leave the bar to do this favor. In fact, I'm glad you arrived when you did. So, yeah. I have some former friends of mine who don't agree with some of the life choices that I've made. And I had thought that I put these friends of mine behind me, that I wasn't going to have to deal with that part of my life anymore. And as she talks, you notice, I think Sosorovo, you notice she's like got her hand on the handle of her saber or whatever on her belt.
Who's she looking at?
She's looking around nervously. You can make an insight check if you want to try to get a read on her.
Not super great at, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'll see how it goes. Not bad. Got 14. She's nervous. She's covering it, but she keeps looking back at the stairs and like kind of side-eyeing the people at the other table. Like there's vague paranoia vibes coming from this lady.
All right, so former friends.
Right. Shipmates, really. We had what you might call a mutiny. Didn't go so good.
So you want former friends to be ex-friends.
And she nods and she says, there's a part of a pirate crew looking for me, and word is they're on their way here now. So what a great time to have new friends, huh? She like looks around at all of you grinning.
I'm still just like petting the dog and like talking to the halfling.
Mm-hmm.
We deal with this. You tell us what we want to know. Yes?
And she nods and she says, you make my former friends former people, and we'll talk. You can have all the information I have.
I take my little magic staff and
Yeah.
just kind of give it a little and there's kind of a and I just mage armor up. Just
Nice. So how does your
How long
mage
does mage armor last?
An hour.
hour?
8 hours.
Oh, hot damn. And it's not concentration or
I don't think it is.
Mage armor, you're so cool. Okay, so what does that look like? Is it like pieces of magical armor that form out of thin air, or like what's your style of spell casting when you do this?
So sort of those mage armor actually is underneath all of their clothes. So the only thing that you would notice if you could see their face under the hat, the like normally kind of gray skin kind of darkens a little bit, and there's just kind of like and it would be on their hands as well. There's just like a shade down, like a kind of dark veil goes over all of their skin underneath the clothes.
Nice, cool. So it'd be the kind of thing you would need to like be keeping a close eye on, and then maybe make like an Arcana check to recognize like what the spell was. But it's clear because there's verbal and somatic components that you've just cast something. And I think Tarina sees what you're doing, right? That you're like, I'm gonna get ready if there's gonna be a fight, and she just grins and nods like, yes, good. These guys will help me deal with my problems. And so she smiles and she looks at you, Sathra, and she says, well, it wouldn't be an evening in Baldur's Gate without a little bit of violence, huh? She gestures. Make whatever preparations you need to make. I imagine they'll be here presently. And I think we cut to the outside of the Song Tavern, and yeah, we do indeed see approaching down the street. We see a group of ne'er-do-wells and mercenary types as they approach. So we'll take our short break here, and when we get back, pirate friends, I guess. So polish your doubloons and buckle your swashes. There's gonna be some murder when we return. Don't go anywhere. Baldur's Gate is thrown into turmoil as the time has come for a hellish debt to be paid. The fate of an entire city hangs in the balance. Can you resist temptation and save them all, or will the seductions within Avernus prove irresistible? The Roll20 conversion of Baldur's Gate, Descent into Avernus, is filled with over 200 new monsters, vehicles, and magic items, and comes with 28 maps complete with GM layer information and dynamic lighting for Pro or Plus users. The expansion compendium and Descent into Avernus adventure module for levels 1 to 13 is waiting for you in the Roll20 marketplace. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the conclusion of today's episode of, here we go, deep breath. Roll20 presents Dungeons and Dragons Baldur's Gate. What a shithole it is. You know, Baldur's Gate is really bad, and you can tell this by the fact that when you go to hell, you'll all be like, man, it's so nice here.
Yeah. Hell has rules.
I mean, it depends on what level of hell.
Yeah, I suppose hell is many flavors. So let's talk about what the plan is here. So Tarina has told you her former pirate companions are on their way, probably to kill her, and if she dies, you can't get any information. So you need to make sure that her former friends are all killed. Instead, they're going to show up soon. You have a bit to like prep. What do you want to do? What would be the things that you would do now that you all know this is the situation you're in?
I mean, having fought in D&D fights before, I feel like narrowing their access to whatever space would be a good idea. Like, is there, like, we can, I don't know, like, lure them through a door and then, like, hit them a bunch of times?
Or up the stairs, maybe?
Or up at the top of the stairs, depending on, like, ranged weapons.
Sure, I mean, that makes sense.
I think that once November gets caught up on the scheme, she very politely tells the people at the other table that they might want to go somewhere.
Or help.
So you want to go over to the table. Basically, let's get one action from each of you, one thing that you're going to do. So November, you want to go talk to the people at the other table. You want to have a short conversation with them.
Well, yes. Yeah. And the halfling, if I can do like, just like the other people in the room and be like, hey guys, so.
Hello, everyone. So you're going to address the room.
Yeah. We might be having a fight.
Yeah. Before we get to that, let's see what else everybody's doing. So Sathra, what are you going to do? Do you have any spells?
Strapping my shield to my arm.
Yeah. Do we get to see you like with your cloak off in like battle mode?
This is like this is like the fucking actual reveal.
This is your magical snarl transformation sequence.
Because she has to take the cloak off to get the shield out. Because it's like would be sucked to do it otherwise.
Yeah.
So she takes the cloak off, and you can see that she's wearing like sort of not really dark, but sort of darker than usual steel scale mail with like a sort of gambeson under it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got a little like shoulder drape that's like black with like ragged edges, as if like it's been burned or it's been in combat, you know.
Chad has just described the exact move I imagined too. Infinity Phoenix asked the shoulder grab, rip the cloak off move.
Yeah, of course.
And it floats in the air for a second before it falls to the ground. Yeah.
And she's got like these very what would you call it? Like practical like brown combat pants that like lead into the heavy boots that she's wearing and are like tucked into the boots. And you can see like most of her skin is like this green scale, basically like snake skin. Because once the cloak's off, like her hood's down, and her hair is like black and like the Draco Malfoy, like
just
slick back,
greased back.
And at the back it's like really pointed, as if like sort of spiked out at the back.
Cool.
And
I pick that one in RPGs.
Yeah. And she's got a sword at her hip as well.
Yeah.
And there's something odd. It's like a regular longsword. But when she puts her hand on it, you can see this like writing like snake across the side of the blade that looks like it's in maybe Draconic, or I guess Abyssal would be the Night Serpent.
Yeah.
So in Abyssal, if you read Abyssal, and it says like, you know, the chosen fang of the Night Serpent Dendar sort of like on the blade.
Does Sathra read Abyssal?
She does, yeah.
Okay.
She reads Abyssal and Draconic.
Okay.
And when she draws the sword, it's straight while she's got it on her belt, but it sort of like curves a little bit as if like tooth-like once it's in her hand.
Dang.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So you draw it, and I think anybody within range, like everyone in the room, sees you take your cloak off, and they're like, "Ooh, interesting looking snake person. Whoa, scary sword." Yeah, like it's clear they're in the presence of adventurers. Okay, cool. So you draw your sword. You ready up. So you have your shield and your sword. Is there anywhere? Where do you want to be, or what do you want to do?
I'm like positioning myself near the front of like the top of the stairs, basically.
Okay. All right.
We go down, I'll be the first one down. If they come up, I'll be the one at the.
Okay. Tarina is like cocking a crossbow. Where it came from, who knows? Okay, so November, you want to go over to the other table?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And I think it's probably happening like kind of like she approaches before the cloak and the sword. And then while she's talking, there's a like, okay. I saw the sword. You're adventurers.
So the other people at the table that you haven't seen yet, one of them has like a scarred face, like looks from like I mean, you'd have to make a medicine check to figure out what happened to her, but she looks very badly scarred on the face. She scowls at the whole situation. She may not be able to do anything else. And then the other person that was at the table, this guy, Aloric, looks like someone who could have been like a writer or a professor or something. Like his hands are covered in ink stains, and he has like a puffy shirt, and he looks like he was wearing a wig at some point because his hair is all like smushed down, and you can see like a little line on his forehead. He's got like wig powder like on his forehead and on his shoulders. And he's got in front of him a book that he was writing in before they all interrupted him and was like, "We're playing a game now." And so he's kind of just nervously like looking around. And you walk over to the table, and all these people are here. What do you say?
So sorry to bother you all. But there's probably about to be a bit of a, well, not a tavern brawl, but not necessarily like a riot, like in between those two things, most likely. So if you would like to participate, have at it. If you would not, then maybe you should make scarce.
And they all kind of look at each other, and right away, the woman with the tattoo and the bumbling playwright, they definitely get up and are like, fight. I don't want to have anything to do with that. Come on, Rahima. And the two of them like start to like fuck off. Basically, they leave. The woman, the Scarface woman, and the big half orc, they're on the fence. Let me look at this other guy whose name is, I shit you not, Skraldar. From
what I understand, it's against some pirates. So if you have any love or hatred of pirates, then...
Oh, Skraldar is the punch-drunk shipwright with no eyebrows. So Skraldar, he looks around, he's like, "We're gonna fight. I'll fight him." And he like kind of does one of these in midair, like, I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll point you in the right direction when it's time.
More bodies, the better.
The half-orc and the halfling kind of look at each other like, they obviously know each other, and they're like, what do you think? Should we do this thing? And you will have to make a roll if you want to convince them.
Okay. I think that she says, if it's any help deciding, I'd gladly buy, some better alcohol for the victor.
And the half-orc, the jovial-looking half-orc, leans in and he says, "Is that so? Well, see, Lala and I, we've got expensive taste. Isn't that right, Lala?" And Lala's like, "Yeah, expensive taste." And she like looks over you and squints. And
is that the halfling?
Yeah, that's the Scarface halfling over here.
Oh wait, there's a Scarface.
This is Scarface.
Okay.
This is a guy named Wall Knightley. Okay. And then this is Skraldar Fane. Skraldar with no eyebrows. And Skraldar's hella in. He's ready. He'll fight anybody anytime. But yeah, you're gonna need to bribe them.
Sure.
If you want them to fight for you. So
absolutely.
How much gold are you gonna offer?
I mean, gold when a fucking ale is 2 copper. What?
Yeah, but you're asking them to like risk their lives.
I mean, they seem to be into it.
No, they're giving you the opportunity to make them into it.
I feel like November is the type of person that would just put her entire coin purse on the table.
Oh, you're just like, here's everything I have. Okay, how much gold do you have?
I have 9 gold and 96 copper.
Great, because you had to get change from. Okay, all right. So you put your whole purse on the table.
This is all I have, but if that will buy better alcohol for you.
We cut over to the woman, the halfling sitting on the bench over here with your dog, and she sees this and she says to the dog, she's like, "Oh, she's a naive one, isn't she? The city's gonna eat her up." And the dog just like nods, like, yes, she doesn't know what she's doing. Okay, make a persuasion roll, because I assume you're not lying to them.
No. Do I have advantage for giving them lots of money?
No, but you're allowed to make the roll.
Well, that's silly. I get a 5.
Okay, so they look at it, and Wall kind of like sneers, and Lala looks at the bag, and she says, she's like, even if you have platinum in there, it's not enough. Come on, Wall, let's go. And she gets up and starts to walk away, and Wall looks at you like, oh, sorry, I gotta go.
Of course, I just thought it'd be better to give. Okay, bye.
And she Scrawldar turns and he looks at you and he says quietly, he's like, don't worry, milady. I will protect you and your secret's safe with me. I won't tell anybody.
My secret?
He nods. He's like, you're, and he pokes the air near you. He's like, you're an avatar of the Winter Queen, but I won't tell, milady. And he reaches, he just touches his head looking for his cap, which he can't find.
Is it nearby?
No, he may never have had a hat to begin with.
I pat him on the shoulder and I'm like, all right, well.
And he touches his shoulder and he's like, so cold.
Oh, sorry. How about you sit, and when the fighting happens, I'll let you know.
And he nods and he says, that'll do. And he slumps back down in the seat.
And then I go back to the dog and try and find a place where it can sit and not be fighting.
Yeah, there are other rooms. You can just open a door and be like, go in here, honey.
Okay. I'll knock first.
Which door do you go to?
Probably the one next to where the dog is.
Yeah, the door's unlocked. It just opens.
Is there anyone in there?
Yeah. So actually, this is a good segue into the next bit. So you open the door. It looks like a meeting room or a big private fest hall or whatever. So the dog runs in and runs under the table and hides.
Okay, good boy.
There's a window over here, and as you look up at the window, the camera follows through the window and out into the street. And we see 3 men entering the tavern down below. I have some text in this box for you. Let me get it. 3 motley humans saunter into the tavern. The leader is a brawny man with a cloudy right eye, a cruel sneer, and a pirate swagger. The others are an unsavory, rowdy bunch who act as if they own the place. We're looking for an old friend of ours, says the dead-eyed man as he sniffs the air. Goes by the name Tarina, so I'm told. Loves to cheat at Baldur's Bones. Bit mutinous. And the other people in the tavern kind of look at each other like, oh shit, these guys are trouble. And you can hear, because it's a fucking drafty medieval tavern, you can hear through the floorboards. You hear this blustering as these pirates.
Oh, it appears our guests have arrived.
Come into the bar.
Yeah, for the thing that I would like to be doing, I'm just taking this sofa and I'm dragging it over and I'm making myself a little barricade over the...
Okay, you're making cover? I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, let me put that on the map layer for you. Perfect. Okay. All right. So that's not there. Okay. All right. So like drag the sofa over, turn it around. Scrawldar just watches you, and he's just like nodding. He's like, "Here's one of those furniture moving elves. I heard about you. A friend of mine worked at a warehouse once. 2 platinum? You gotta be kidding me." No. So he's just, just wondering where his eyebrows went as you create your wall of sofa to hide behind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Okay, all right. So yeah, you'll have cover. You'll be basically hidden from anyone who comes around the corner. Downstairs, you hear more talking. If anybody would like to listen carefully, you can make a perception check.
Alrighty then.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I'm just whispering to the halfling next to me that like if they want to, they can like also go hide with the dog. I don't.
Yeah. So she's like, "Hey, I'll look after the pooch for you." And she goes in the other room and she's like, "Come here, boy." And she climbs under the table with him.
Oh, good.
Okay. And then do you want to close that door?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'll just draw a little. There you go. Let me know if you want to open it again. Okay. So Sorovo, you can hear downstairs you're talking. This guy, he's a blackguard, right? He likes being loud, and he comes in and he says, "Barkeep," and Alan's just like, "Ugh. A tall glass of ale to anyone with information on Tarina's location." And a bunch of people look at each other like, cool, this is going to be an easy glass of ale. A couple of people use this opportunity to get out of the bar, right? Like a table excuses themselves. And you hear him be like, "Where are you going?" Just trying to liven the place up. And so there's like the couple of people spread out. And it's only a matter of time before somebody says, like, "Oh, I know where she is." And then you hear some like more quiet conversation.
This may be relevant, Adam.
Yeah.
I am waiting for whoever comes into this square of the stairs first, and I'm gonna poison spray the living shit out of them.
Oh my god! Can you imagine? Like you're just walking up the stairs at a tavern, and suddenly, blah, poison sprayed in your face. It's just like Home Alone. If Kevin McAllister were a snake man. Okay,
if I was playing a rope, there'd be ball bearings, there'd be butter on those steps.
So somebody downstairs is like, she just came in a little while ago. She's upstairs with those adventurers. And you hear, "What's that? Adventurers, huh? So, sounds like she's made some friends, boys." And they grumble, and she's like, "Well, she'll betray him soon enough. If she lives the night, come on, boys." And you hear the unmistakable sound of weapons being drawn, and then heavy boots thump, thump, thump on the stairs. So I imagine if you stand right where you are now, he'll be able to see you from the bottom of the stairs.
Oh, okay.
But if you stand one step over there, this little wall will be high enough that you'll get him as soon as he comes up.
Let's do it.
Okay, so you wait. Do we see you like? Do you have like poison glands that swell in your throat?
Like, she's got like sort of a very angular face. It's like very viper-like.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see like there's a little like on her neck, like sort of puffing up.
This fucking guy. All right. So what we'll do is before we roll initiative, we will have you this guy
that's
here.
Confusing. They look just like Tarina.
He's not under here. I'll put a little like there. That's your bandit. So this guy's not actually here. He's underneath. I just need to grab him.
Yeah,
so
of course.
I'll let you do your poison spray, and then we'll roll initiative after you blast this guy in the face with poison. So
right.
He's coming upstairs. We hear this like thump, thump, thump. He's got his weapon in his hand. What does he got? He's got a scimitar. Of course he does. So he's coming up the stairs. You hear thump, thump, thump. And he even calls ahead. He's like, Tarina. And he comes up and he turns and he's like, "Where are you hiding, girl? Wait, who are..." Just gets hosed in the face.
So it's a DC 14 con save.
Okay. All right.
For 8 poison damage if he fails.
Okay. And if he succeeds, it's
It's nothing.
It's a cantrip, right? So he can dodge. Okay. I'm gonna give him disadvantage because I think it's a surprise. So let's see. Con save with disadvantage. He gets a 4.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you spray him in the face, and he grabs his with his other hand. He grabs his face, screaming, and he's like, "Ah, Bashama, no!" And he like stumbles backwards into the wall.
Just like get him in the eyes.
His one good eye. You spray him with poison, and he starts like gagging. There's no other effects for poison spray right now, right?
No, it's just damage.
Okay. Yeah. So that happens. You get a spray in the face. There's smoke coming off of his face, and now we roll initiative. So let me do it. There you go. I don't know who Philaster is, but I'm getting them off there. Jesus Christ, Blue Jay.
I didn't see a Philaster on it.
No, your character name.
God, I'm sorry.
You take up literally 3 lines on the initiative tracker.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Why is it just showing my name and not Elf's or
That's so
Dave's?
funny. Probably because the tokens, when I threw them together, I didn't set name, bar, aura, view. So I'll set all that now.
I mean, I could just say November.
No, it's fine. It's totally fine. I will work around it. Okay, and then Sosorovo, which, Dave, can I just say, every time I say your character's name, it fills me with delight. It's a great name to say out loud. Sosorovo. Okay, all right. So Scrawldar, not a good mouthfeel on that one. So Scrawldar the commoner. Good. There's Scrawldar. And then Tarina. Oh, I gotta put my my initiative macro on this account when we get started next session. Remind me, somebody, chat. That goes for you too. Okay, and then there's Tarina. Let me add these to the order. Okay, so Tarina got a 19, and then Scrawldar got a 17. Oh, they're so fast. Okay, and then our bad guys, we got 1 eye. Maybe no eyes now, I guess. Ah, my good eye. You got a 7. Okay, so Deadeye got a 7, and then Deadeye's bandit friends. Yeah, and while I'm doing this, for folks who have questions, this is still a beta version of the adventure. The proper finished version, the retail release comes out tomorrow. So I'm working on a 95% complete version. So there are a few little bits and pieces.
Yeah, the stat blocks to do that immediately.
Yeah. Normally I'd have that in there, and I can click the little D20 on initiative to send it to the tracker. But yes, I'm working around it right now. Okay, so anyway, these guys got an 18, so that's my order. All right, so Sathra. Oh, that's perfect. You're first.
Lightning quick snake reflex.
That's right.
So I poison spray him in the face.
Yeah.
And then I raise my blade as he's reeling and doing the oh god thing. I raise my blade and point it at him, and I say in Abyssal, "You first." And then I curse him with my bonus action for the Hexblade's curse.
All right, so what do we want to use? What icon do we want to use for the curse?
So I have 2 curses. I have Hex and Hexblade's curse. So
okay, this is a good one, I think. I usually use that for blinded, but
that's fine. That'll work.
Yeah, we'll pick some good ones. How about for now? We just Hexblade curse. We'll use. I don't have any cool looking knives or anything. Let's use. That's poison. Let's use that one. That looks good.
So there's sort of the ghostly shadow of a serpent through the sword that leaps into him, and there's the Hexblade's curse.
He momentarily revisits his worst nightmare. He's reminded that it exists.
So what this allows me to do is when I damage him, I get bonus equal to my proficiency to damage.
Yeah.
So 2.
Okay.
But I crit on 19s or 20s, and if he dies, I get health back.
Hot.
That's kind of how it works.
So it's your bonus action. You curse him.
It is my bonus action to curse him.
Dendar's.
And then as my main action, I will use the cantrip Green Flame Blade to attack him. And Green Flame Blade, for those of you who don't know what Green Flame Blade is, it's great. It's great. Here it is. I got to post it in the chat. Why is it not posting in the chat?
There it is.
There you go. So it's a regular attack action where all regular attack action stuff happens.
Yeah.
Except that if I succeed, it splashes to another target within 5 feet for my charisma modifier.
Woo! Okay.
So here we go. I'm gonna roll Hex to longsword swing. 9.
All right. So he's fast enough to get his scimitar up in the way. It's a perfect strike, but this guy's a seasoned combatant. So you slash out at him, and your weapon bounces off of his blade. And he snarls, and he like wipes the poison off his face, and he looks at you, and his face is all like burned. It's like smoke coming off of it. And he scowls, and he says, "Your friends can't save you, Tarina." And then he's gonna attack you, but it's not his turn yet. Tarina, unless you have anything else that you want to do.
Nope, that's it. Action, bonus action, and I'm staying here.
All right. So Tarina, in response, shoots him with her crossbow. Yeah. Okay. So she fires her crossbow, and she gets a 6. He ducks. Thunk, crossbow bolt hits the wall next to him, and he scowls. Tarina begins reloading the crossbow. So Sorovo, it is your turn.
Surprise! There's a gnome behind the sofa. I'm gonna zap him with the spell.
Okay.
I cast Chili Boys. This is a 13 hit.
On a chill touch, a 13 is insufficient to strike this guy.
Oh shit!
I'm doing it from hiding, so I should.
Oh, you have advantage. That's right. Yeah.
Well, again.
Oh,
Cool.
Well,
Great.
the 10 is not better.
Very good, thank you. Well, that's how this campaign is going to be.
I feel
go.
that. I feel that.
All right. So the other two pirates are like, Deadeye, we gotta get up there. We can't, and like trying to stab you through the railing, and they can't get at you.
Love it.
Oh my God. Thank you, chat. This is your casting couch, Dave. Very nice.
Cool.
Primo. Okay, so they can't get into the room as long as their captain is here. They're like a bunch of skeletons and zombies with no orders. Skruldar, he's super drunk. So I'm gonna make a saving throw for him. Let's see. Oh, he gets a 17. All right, so he does get a turn. So he gets up and
Skruldar, come be my meat shield, Skruldar.
Yeah, and so Skruldar's like, you just get away from her, you ruffian. And staggers forward, picking up off the table a leg of turkey that has been sitting around on the table for so long. It was gamey to begin with. It's a melee weapon now. So he yanks this like turkey leg off the table, or he's like, "You get away from her, you hooligan." He's got a movement rate of 30.
I don't think he can even get over there.
He stumbles over. Actually, he can get here
and do nothing.
And no, it's 30 feet from here.
Okay.
Where is he? Skruldar?
Right. Diagonal to me. Yeah, there.
So he stumbles up and he's like, "Come here, you!" And he takes a swing. And let's see what happens.
I want him to fight better than the rest of us. Please.
Skruldar. All right, here we go. Skruldar gets a 21.
Oh yes,
and deals 1 bludgeoning damage. So Deadeye, we just see him and he's like looking at you, and then this chicken leg just bonk from outside the thing. Like, and he turns to Skruldar, and Skruldar's like, "That's right. You got some fight in me still." So Deadeye, Deadeye attacks Skruldar with his scimitar.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
Skruldar, you were the best.
He gets a 15, and Skruldar takes 7 damage and goes down.
Yeah. I I gave him every opportunity to not fight. So
Whatever, man. I don't care. He was a great meat shield for me.
So Skraldar grabs his chest and dramatically throws himself backwards. He hits this door, which bursts open, and Skraldar staggers back into the room and dies on the floor. I mean, maybe he's dead, maybe not.
I think there's a moment where November is just like, sorry.
So Skraldar just, staggers into that room and dies. Deadeye has another attack, so he turns and he takes a swing at you,
Level 1.
Sathra.
Okay.
He gets a 14.
Not enough.
Haha, too fast.
Parried.
So he swings out at Skraldar, misses, takes a swing at you.
The sword seemingly moves of its own volition in that, like, he hardly even tries to block, but the sword like whips. There's like a bend to it almost.
Yeah. So there's that sound of a sword driven by like a beefy, muscly arm smashing against another piece of steel. So the whole room it rings, and and Skraldar lies dead over here. You have escaped that fate, and Deadeye reaches for his belt and draws a dagger, ready for the next turn. November, it is your turn.
All right. So November is going to creep over to this railing and like peer over.
Yeah, you see two guys pushing. Next turn, they're going to both be able to like push past there.
Okay. Well, first I'm going to try and, put a pause on that. I think that she probably says something to get their attention, be like, hi, up here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so one of them like looks up.
And then the one that looks up, she casts Frostbite on.
Hey, hello. Blah! Okay.
So the text for Frostbite, since I haven't used it before, you cause a numbing frost to form on one creature you can see within range.
Okay.
The target must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 1d6 cold damage and has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
Nice. Okay. Well, he got a 6 on his Constitution save.
So he takes 5 cold damage and will have disadvantage on the next attack he makes.
So he looks up and like, what's going on? And then we hear that sound, that crackling sound. And frost just like grows over his face and his neck. And he starts to like shake. He's not dead yet, but he staggers back against the wall, and then this one looks up at you. He can kind of see you from here, and he's like, "Witch!" As if in warning.
And she like does the little like, and then like backs up.
Yeah, and you're not engaged, so you can move. Okay, Sathra. Actually, what's everybody's? This is a weird question to ask. I mean, the question is normal, but what is everybody's passive perception?
I think mine's 15.
11.
Also 11.
Yeah, mine's 15.
Okay. All right. Let me. Okay. All right. Thank you. Cool. Okay. So, I think Sosorovo, you hear footsteps in this room. You hear somebody like shuffling around in there.
Which room? Sorry?
The one, this doorway.
You might be pinging on the map layer.
Oh, yeah, you're right. The one closest to you. You're the only one who could hear it.
Okay. My familiar has better passive perception as well, by the way. And also can see invisibility.
Oh, excellent. Okay, now remind me, how does your familiar communicate with you?
Telepathically.
Okay, but it's only as smart as a cat normally is, right?
No, it has 11 int.
Okay. All right. And does it communicate to you in like words, or because it doesn't gain any like linguistic abilities or anything, right?
It understands common but cannot speak it. Let's paste find familiar.
Yeah, let's figure that out. How psychic is this kitty? Let's see. You can see through your familiar's eyes and hear what it hears till the start of the next turn. Okay. All right. So your cat familiar. Communicates with you in your mind. I don't think in words. I think it's just like in like feelings and instincts and stuff. And it is pretty smart, but it doesn't gain like language abilities. So there's something that smells tasty in the other room. The cat is like, food. There's food in there. Yeah. You feel, hunger and like excitement, but also like danger, right? Like your cat.
Oh my God, danger food. It's my favorite.
The cat feels that, well, the cat, it's not your familiar's feelings. It's just they understand that you are in a tense situation, but there's something they want in that other room. Sathra, it is your turn. You were toe to toe with.
Alrighty then. So for my bonus action, I would like to curse this guy a second time, but with my other curse.
One curse not enough for you, huh?
So we're gonna hex him this time. We're gonna give him the hex, which is just like she reaches out with her like shield hand and like waves her hand through the air like nearby him as if like grabbing at his essence.
Okay.
And he is now also hexed, which is I'll do an additional D6 damage to him.
Perfect.
When I hit him.
Good.
Let me just check if there's something else with hex. That's my only spell, by the way, for this encounter. So
yeah, it's disadvantage on
ability checks made with a chosen ability. So I'm going to choose strength.
Okay.
Because it's not saving throws; it's just ability checks. So
okay.
If he somehow needs it, then
in case you get in a grapple fight.
Yeah, it might happen. So now I'm gonna hit him with my cantrip again and green flame blade once more.
Nice.
So let's try that again. What the fuck? Come on!
All right, he parries the attack. No strike. Green flame blade or not.
I really need to hit this guy.
I gotta get him. Okay, so how long do both of those curses last?
Hex, I believe, is hang on, let me check. Hex is concentration up to an hour.
Okay.
And the Hexblade's curse is until I go down or they go down whatever.
All right, so I'll put a note in here. It's way too long to run out, but I just put a note so that we know that you have it going.
Yeah, I've got concentration to worry about. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, Tarina, she's going to take another shot with her crossbow. Boing.
Please, dear God.
She gets a 10.
Fuck.
And so she shouts at you because she likes to blame other people. Shouts at you, Sathra. She's like, get out of the way. I can't get a clear shot.
Would you like to toe-to-toe with him?
No, you're doing great. Just get out of my way. So, Sorovo, it is your turn.
I shoot laser beams. Pew!
Hey, there you go. You hit.
Sick. We're dealing damage. One.
Your chill touch just did as much damage as a chicken leg.
I might be wrong. That's telling me I'm wrong.
We got it.
It is. So Hexblade's curse is only 1 minute, actually.
Hexblade's curse is a minute? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So that's 10 rounds?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We did it.
God, this fucking guy is gonna beat us all up.
Okay, so you're dealing 1 damage. Anything else, Sorovo?
He certainly can't regain hit points through healing.
Okay, good.
One of his friends is... All right.
Okay.
Nah, I'm good.
All right. So these other banditos come into the room. There's one. So this pirate pushes past Deadeye, comes in the room, and I think he's gonna go for Tarina. So he leaves your range. You can attack of opportunity on him if you want.
Yes. I will use my reaction to strike at him.
Okay.
13?
That is a hit.
Yes! 9 damage.
Nice. This is a big hit. So you slash him across the back as he's pushing past you. And comes out into the room, comes up to Tarina, who's gonna have to defend herself with a melee weapon. The other guy, who's all frostbitten and shit, he's just gonna stay downstairs rubbing his arms. How long before it wears off? Is it a round, November?
It's till the end of his round.
Okay, yeah. So he spends his turn just rubbing his arms like, it's so cold. And that's it. Yeah. So that's his turn. Skraldar is dead. I'm going to remove him from the order. Actually, I'm not yet. I'm going to make death saves for old Skraldar.
Yeah, Skraldar.
All right. Skraldar gets 1 successful death save. I'm going to start tracking these. All right. So we'll use green for alive and we'll use red for dead. So he's got 1 alive save. All right. Skraldar makes 1 saving throw. Deadeye now ready with the full 3 attacks.
Oh, 3.
All right, Sathra, first attack. He gets a crit. Oh no!
I'm dead.
Probably you are
I have
down.
9 HP.
Yep.
You take more than that.
Okay,
yes, you're at
cool.
0. So Deadeye slashes you. You fall to the floor with a thud, and then he steps over your corpse and
Cool.
approaches Tarina.
That was
Ooh,
fun.
Oh no.
So you are on the ground. Okay. All right.
You said I was at 0, right?
So let me.
He did 7 plus 4 damage, 11.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, but no, you're fine. Let me I gotta roll something here. Give me a second.
Well, there goes all my spells and cool shit that I was doing.
Okay. All right.
You were really cool up until that moment. Yes.
So Deadeye. Oh, so the hex stuff is gone. Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. So he steps over you, steps towards Tarina, and he makes an attack with his scimitar, and he gets a 19.
That would have hit me too.
And hits Tarina, and you hear her scream in pain as he slashes her, and the two of them close in. November, it is your turn.
Oh no.
Uh-huh.
That guy's rough. I feel like I don't think I have any like bonus action stuff. Like everything takes a whole action. So oh God. This is bad. You went down. I want to help you, but I also don't want to die.
Do you have any healing abilities?
I do have healing abilities.
Okay.
Our what I will say is that our party what do you call it? Like action economy goes way down if I just lie on the ground.
Yes, yeah.
That's
chances
true.
of the two of you getting out of this fight.
Because level 1 is literally just do we hit them or not, and do they die or not? Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that's definitely the priority. I just don't necessarily want to be in their range. So 5,
I think
10, 15. I'm like sneaking. She's like sneaking. She's like, okay, well, they're focused on this person that we just met. I'm gonna just like cure wounds and then sneak away. So I cure wounds, and
Okay.
you get 8 hit points back.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, I'm gonna go back over here.
The breath of life.
Yeah. Ugh. So you are awakened. What does your healing look like? November?
It looks very similar to the damage that she did with the frostbite. Like your face looks like it's covered in
It's less healing and more cryogenic freezing.
yeah, your face. Yeah, I think that what happens is whatever damage you took, whatever slash you had is covered with ice. And then you
Felt real comfortable. Yeah.
and then you see it like melt into your skin there, and like instead of having a wound, it's like healed up a bit now.
Mhm, yeah.
Cool. Okay. All right. So you're prone, but you're alive.
And I'm just like, okay.
And that's what you want to do?
I think she also, like, when she gets back to the corner, she says something about maybe we could come to a peaceful solution. So that's it.
Yeah, you could try. Okay. So, let me check something really quick. Let's see. Okay. All right. Is there enough room? That would hit you. Okay. All right. So you hear the door. This is great. The door slam open. It's this door down here where your dog was. This door slam open, and out into the room you see this woman in her quilted coat. And she staggers out and she's like kind of drunk. And she's like, all I wanted to do was get a bit of the veil tonight and have a little bit of a time relaxing. And you all had to come in here and cause trouble. Well, I'm done with it. Everyone, shut up. And she slams her hands together and a wave of force ripples out, throwing the three people in front of her like against the wall, basically throwing them around. So she's just going to attack everybody.
Oh, shit.
And she's going to cast Thunderwave.
I remember when I killed some commoners with that a long time ago.
Yeah. So she's going to cast Thunderwave. So the whole place shakes.
Oh God, that's loud.
Yeah, under the table, your dog is whining in the other room. And yeah, there's a boom of thunder. And I need to make some.
I wonder if you're a tavern owner in the Forgotten Realms, if you get like wizard insurance.
Oh yeah,
God,
definitely.
you have to.
Yeah, spell battle insurance. Okay. Okay. All right, and then another one for the same dexterity save, and then lastly, the captain. All right, they all fail. So, this dude is killed. He's dead.
God, I think Tarina's probably dead.
Tarina is knocked unconscious. Definitely. Yeah. I figure she'll probably die unless somebody. Oh, they should be con saves. Okay. Well, none of this is going to make enough difference. They all fail anyway with the same d20s. So this guy, Tarina gets knocked out and is dying unless somebody tends to her. And then old Deadeye here takes 9 damage, and he gets like, I think Thunderwave like knocks you back, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so just blast everybody against that back wall, and then she just stands there looking like angry. She's got her little pipe hanging out of her mouth, and yeah, and you all hear a ringing in your ears. Sathra, it is your turn.
I get up and hit a guy.
Okay.
We're not finished yet.
Okay, let me check.
Yo!
Yes.
Nice. Okay, good stuff. Okay, I was gonna check to see if he was knocked prone or not, but it doesn't matter. You get a crit anyway.
I rolled the wrong die, but it rolled a 20 instead of a 19, so it's still a crit.
It's all good. Okay.
We're good. It's the only thing that changes. So.
Yes. Yeah. You still the die is still a 20.
8 damage.
Okay. All right. So you stride over and stab him. Okay. Cool.
That's it.
Nice. Good work. Tarina. I guess we'll just do the same. We'll give it. NPCs are getting death saves these days. Okay. All right. So Tarina has.
Ooh, so close to being real dead.
Okay. All right. So Sorovo, what do you want to do?
Let's see. All of my combat skills. That I didn't pick any of. I'm gonna cast Chill Touch.
Okay. It's just this chilling hand just slapping him in the face.
Welcome to the Cantrip Club.
Yeah.
Nice. 24. Yeah. Roll that damage. Excellent. All right. The chill hand continues to smack him around. Okay. This bandit, this pirate, will come up to the top of the stairs and make a morale check. He comes up, he looks around, he's like, let's see what's going on around here. I should probably
Run away?
help the captain.
Oh,
So he takes another step and he takes a swing at you, Southrow, with his scimitar.
Okay.
Scimitar whistles through the air and you parry it handily. All right. So, Scraldar, time for a death save.
No, Scraldar.
Scraldar.
It's gonna be just our luck that Scraldar will be fine, but Tarina's gonna die.
All right, Scraldar fails his first death save. Scraldar has a 1 and 1. All right, Deadeye. Deadeye is going to
here we go again.
Leap forward and he lunges. He lunges at the druid. Lunges at Willow. So he's gonna make all his attacks on her.
Willow's a druid? That's so cool.
She is a druid. That's how she casts the spell. And talks. Ooh, gets a crit.
What the fuck is with this guy?
Willow takes 10 damage on the first hit.
Oh,
he gets
God.
2 more attacks.
No.
Yep. So she's like she's got her shillelagh or whatever, and she's just like trying to parry, and he's just hacking away at her bits of wood chip, going flying. So he's got 2 more attacks. Another scimitar, which is a 17 for another 7 damage, and then a melee attack with his dagger, which is a miss.
Gosh, she's still up. Good.
Yeah, she's barely still up. She's staggering. She's been, and we just cut back to the dog under the table, like whining. She's like, like bad things are happening. Fix it. All right, November, fix it.
Okay. Fuck.
Fuck. Yeah.
November swears in not common. What do I say?
Druidic.
Infernal. I swear in infernal. And then I am going to cast, what's the one that gives him disadvantage?
Frostbite.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Frostbite on this fella.
It's especially hard given that he has multiple attacks. So it's like, it's all of his attacks during his round, right? Or is it the first?
No, it's the first.
Yes.
One.
Okay. Yep. All right.
It's the old vicious mockery maneuver.
It is. Constitution saving throw. Survey says 12.
Okay, it was DC 13, so he takes 3 cold damage and has disadvantage on his next weapon attack on his turn.
Nice. I'm gonna make a request into the void. Hey, Roll20. It'd be super cool to have a thumbs up and a thumbs down as some of these icons. I would use them for so much stuff. But for now, I'm gonna use Sad Ninja.
Sad.
Normally that means you're asleep, but like I don't know. I would just love like a little thumbs up and a little thumbs down. Those would be so good. Okay, so you come over and you frostbite the dude.
Yeah, and then I think I look at Willow and I was like, you didn't have to come out here, but thank goodness you did.
And she looks over and she's like, I'm sorry, who are you again?
Oh, right.
Excuse me a minute. And she turns back to this guy. And she sees Sathra, she sees you and she knows that if she were to thunder wave him again, you would get caught in the blast. So this time, she is just going to, let's see, what spells does she have left? Can you use can you cast and attack with Shillelagh in the same turn?
I think
it's a bonus action, yeah. So
Yeah,
she's like, excuse me a minute, and she turns and she knocks on the floor, and her Shillelagh becomes imbued with nature's power, so it blossoms and begins to glow with green magical light. And then she swings it at this guy. She takes her Shillelagh and she gets a 14 and misses. And so she swings in and then blocks it. And then she looks at you and she's like, oh, that didn't go very well. You want to have a try? Sathra, it is your turn.
Don't mind if I do.
Yeah.
Oh,
18.
not that great.
18's a hit though, so.
Or that should be 12.
12. Okay, perfect. All right. That's a lot of damage. Nice.
It's because of all the modifiers. And I'm swinging with charisma,
Yes.
not with.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you still swinging with charisma even without your hex?
I am, yes.
Yeah,
it's
the
the
sword.
weapon, not
Yeah.
the.
Oh, sick.
Nice. Yeah. So you slash him across the back, and he's like reminded that you're there, and he snarls. He's like, and turns around. He'd be clutching his wound, but he has 2 swords. Anything else, Sathra?
No.
Okay. Tarina, death save. I gotta put both the L's in the word roll. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's the second fail. Tarina's
Oh,
She's
not
eating it.
doing great.
that's right.
Well,
About it.
The sea bitch is coming for you today, Tarina. All right, so Sorovo, it is your turn.
Is he bloodied yet?
He looks pretty badly pummeled, yes.
I was gonna save it for shield, but we're gonna go for the wizard special.
Magic missile, I bet.
Magic
I love
missile.
sparkly darts.
Spew.
pew pew.
Pew! Why does it only shoot one dart at a time?
Do it again. Pew, 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 pew.
Whoa! I rolled good on magic missile.
There
Yeah,
you go.
damn.
So what do your sparkly darts look like?
They're kind of a bit more edgy than normal, but not hugely. They're like shots from a needler from Halo, pretty much.
Ah,
Yeah.
I
Kind
dig
of
it.
green.
Cool.
So
Nice. Oh yeah, I like that dark bead from Dark Souls. Yeah, that's cool too. Yeah. All right. So you deal 5, 10, 14 damage. Whoa, that's a lot. All right. He is reeling now. Yeah, you fired these
Jesus,
darts.
I hope so.
They fly out from behind the couch and hit him, and he didn't even know. Like he turns, like where the hell did that come from? And he turns and sees your little hat, and we hear from under your hat. Cool. I assume you're gonna stay hidden back there, Sosurova, right?
Danger food.
Okay. All right. So this pirate,
Yeah.
he looks at Deadeye and he's like, hey, Deadeye, we should go. We can go back to the boat and get the rest of the boys. And Deadeye turns and snarls at him and he's like, run if you want, coward. And the guy with the sword is like, no, I'll stay. It's fine. And he attacks you, Sathra.
All right.
So here we go. Scimitar. I got a 9. Big 9.
Oh, that's not
You
enough.
need an 18 to get me, so.
Yep. Okay. All right. And then Skraldar. Let's see how Skraldar does.
Come on, Scroldar, you can do it.
Skraldar gets
Get a 20,
5.
Skraldar.
All right. That's two fails for Skraldar. Okay. All right. Deadeye. So many targets. 1, 2, 3.
His next attack.
I'm gonna
with
roll-
disadvantage.
One on each. Boom, boom, boom.
I'll roll a D3 and we'll see where we start. We'll go from there. So 2. So 1, 2. Blue Jay. It is November getting attacked.
He has disadvantage.
So yeah, and that makes sense. Got disadvantage against you. So with disadvantage, Scimitar, I get an 8.
He does not hit.
Okay, he's gonna swing on you again. This one is not
Okay.
with a disadvantage. Gets 13.
I think that matches. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. So the second scimitar swing deals you 9 damage.
Oh boy, that's one less than I
So
have.
slash, and the second one cuts through. He's got his dagger in his other hand. He's gonna follow up and try to put you down because you're so close. So he lunges in with the dagger underhand, gets a 18 to hit,
Oh yeah, that hits.
deals you 4 piercing damage.
And that's enough. I am on the ground, unconscious.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, so yeah, Deadeye turns to Willow, the halfling, and he's like, 1 down. And please make a death save, November.
Yay, everybody! I'm gonna get a 20. It'll be
Level
great.
1. It's the best. Okay, let me mark.
I got a
1
16.
so that everybody in chat can see you.
Okay, that's a success.
1 success.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
I have no healing to get you up again, which is the worst part of this situation.
Okay, so
Come on, Druid, do it for us.
she's cast Thunderwave once, and she has her Shillelagh active.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, she can cast Bark Skin. Like, let's see.
Well,
Is there a
sex
place?
and healing word?
Is there a place she can stand? She doesn't have healing word. Is there a place she can stand where she can? Yeah, she'll just hit Tarina. That would kill Tarina instantly. It would just blast her against the wall and turn her to pulp.
Yeah.
I think Willow's just gonna attack with her
Shillelagh.
her shillelagh. Yeah, because there's an active threat right in front of her, so she's gonna swing that shillelagh. She gets a 22. Oh my god, you're gonna get kill stolen by an NPC.
I hate it.
Yeah.
She deals 6 damage. Yeah. So she sees November go down. She swings the shillelagh at the guy's ankles. He gets 1 foot out of the way. You hear a crack as it hits the other ankle. He topples over backwards. She spins it around and just hits him on top of the head. And he's toast. He's dead. Then Sathra, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I turn around and try and obliterate this guy behind me.
Okay. Yeah, because his boss just went down.
So I'm gonna hit him with the old longsword maneuvers.
Nice. Excellent maneuver.
For 9 damage.
You kill him. Slain. Sloon. Toast. Dead.
So it's like a big guy dies, just spin around, and there's this hissing noise as the sword just like takes the guy out at the throat.
Nice.
And my immediate concern is like, can someone help her? You know, like,
Yeah, so now, I mean, it's a question of targets, right? So Tarina has to make a save. So you're like, can someone help her?
I'm pointing at November. I don't care. About
Sure. So let's see. Tarina.
God, she's gonna fail.
No,
it.
she saves. She gets
Okay.
one. Okay. All right. So Sorova, what do you want to do?
Run over.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, you're right there. Might as well.
yeah, we can't die this round, so I need to do this person first.
Yep.
I mean, a 1. Yeah, I still can die. You're fine.
Yeah. So Tarina has several broken bones from being thrown bodily against the wall. A lot of internal bleeding, some external bleeding.
Don't have medicine kit because I don't have any money.
I mean, just tear up her clothes.
Yeah. No. Okay. So she's just like, you plug one hole and blood comes out a different one. It's not going good. She's still dying. Okay. Scraldar. Scraldar has one more failed save. Here we go.
Scraldar, please.
Scraldar.
Rest in peace, Scraldar. Mighty Scraldar.
Scraldar.
Goodbye forever, Scraldar.
Goodbye,
We love
Scraldar.
you.
You were one of us. So
I mean,
from
that
the
was a
other
pretty epic
room,
death.
Scraldar opens his eyes one last time, looks up into the sky as if seeing something not visible to the living.
Takes a bite of the turkey leg. And
He touches the place on his face where his eyebrows once lived, and he says, "Eyebrows, I'm coming." And then he dies. And he goes to meet his eyebrows in heaven. Deadeye is dead. He's now dead everything. November, a death save, please.
Uh-huh.
F for Scraldar.
I get a 10. Is that a success?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can
Can the dog come out and start licking my face now that there's no enemies?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, one thing that I think is completely wonderful about this adventure is that every time someone dies, if they're evil, there's a chance I could just bring them back in hell.
Nice.
Scraldar in hell. Yeah. But was Scraldar evil? We'll never know. He's going to meet his eyebrows.
I don't think so.
All right, so the dog runs over. Willow is going to use her action to try to heal you. She has a +4 in medicine. She stabilizes you. You are stable.
Yeah. Willow's my new best friend.
Yeah. So Willow looks over at you, Sathra, and she says, "Don't worry, your frosty friends seem to be fine."
Glad to hear it.
It's your turn, Sathra. What would you like to do?
I guess I should probably try and help Tarina, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you walk over and watch.
I'm sort of tempted to just walk over and be like, die. And then be like, so you wanted information, right? Here's a body, get someone to talk to it. But, you know.
I mean, maybe you can let her die of her own accord, because it does seem...
I'll just watch.
Yeah, it does seem that Sosorovo is trying to, like, bring her back.
I'll just watch. I'll just watch it dispassionately.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay.
And put my cloak back on, like sheathe everything.
Okay, so Tarina, let's roll that death save. Here we go. Rest in peace, Tarina. So despite your best efforts...
Or where's their best efforts? I don't think that best efforts were taken.
Despite your efforts, she does indeed expire, and there is a rattle of air escaping her lungs as she dies. She passes away, which means fight's over because there's nothing on a timer anymore.
We failed.
So yeah, what like there's a long pause, right? There's like silence, long pause. And then you hear from downstairs, you hear Alan shout, everything okay up there?
Yes.
Well, I suppose that depends on your definition of okay. How often do people die in your tavern?
Is it safe to come up?
Yeah, watch the body at the top of the landing. Don't want you to fall down the stairs and die as well. Even though it's quite funny. You
hear grumbling down below. You're like, Timora's tits. Skuna, come here. We got to take some bodies out. And you hear this rumbling like, okay. And Alan comes upstairs and Skuna comes upstairs. And and Alan steps over the body and Skuna is like jammed in the...
Can Skuna even get up the stairs? Damn,
yeah,
girl.
she has to squeeze. Oh gosh. So so Alan comes up, he looks around, and he's just like, oh hell, there's blood all over everything. Who's gonna pay for this?
I immediately go for One Eye's pockets and try and take his money and off that.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you want to dig through Deadeye's pockets? Let's see what they got. I think they have some
Yeah,
stuff.
I want to kind of loot everyone. Like, hopefully, our friend had a note that said,
Yep.
Here's all my research.
I have my notebook of secrets in my pocket.
So Deadeye has tucked into his vest, which he wears with no shirt because he's a cool pirate, is a pouch containing 32 gold and 15 silver.
Yoink.
He's also wearing 2 25 GP gold necklaces
Yoink.
and a blackened gold ring with a white pearl set into it that's worth 125 gold.
Damn.
Super yoink.
He's like, "Oop, oop, 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 oop." Okay. Each of the other pirates there's 2 more. 6 and 3 silver, so 9 silver total.
Cool.
I don't know if Tarina has anything on her. I don't think the adventure expects Tarina to be looted, but let me take a quick look.
Well, then it probably shouldn't put in a bandit captain.
Do you want to talk about this? This encounter.
You played it super weak as well.
Hang on. So this encounter. So an encounter for 4 or 5 first level characters, a bandit captain, and 8 bandits.
Are you kidding me?
8.
For 4 to 5 first level characters.
The text of the first fight says 8 motley humans saunter into the tavern. I had to change it because I was like, no way. Yeah, 2 of them technically 2 of them wait outside, and then the other 6 come in to fight you. But I think the idea is that like they expect more of the NPCs to like help. But also there's no reason for them to. Yeah, like you can convince them to help. But yeah, it's a big deal. Like if Tarina were like like if she were a thug instead of a bandit, maybe, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, anyhow, you cleared it out. There are more pirates. They're not here. They're on a boat somewhere. And so now everyone's dead. Alan is like, yeah, who's going to pay for this?
I think the aggressor. I don't know. I never really paid attention in criminal law. Like I took some classes.
Yeah, and he's like, this isn't a criminal issue. Criminal issues are for the living. This is just a fight. Got out of hand. Nothing more. But there's going to be stains. And I don't like stains. And Skuna nods. She's like, no stains. And she comes in and like climbs up like, excuse me, and like comes through the room. And she walks over to November and just goes to pick her up. Like, dead body.
She's still alive, I think.
And she
I think the dog is like
yeah,
partially stands on November leg, and it's like
And so she walks over and she looks at the body, and you're like, she's still alive. And Skuna shakes her head and points. She's like, no, dead. Look, all blue, cold already. And like tries to go pick her up again. The dog's like snarling at her. And waves.
She's very often, usually blue as well.
Okay. And she points at Deadeye and she's like, that one?
Yeah, by all means. What'll cover it? Barkeep, Binkeep.
And Alan, he looks and he says, there's gonna be drippage. And you look at the floor and there's a pool of blood.
I look him directly in the eyes at him and I go, a reminder, don't be greedy.
I paid my protection money to you people already, and then you started this fight, and now I've got stains on the floor. And we cut downstairs. We cut downstairs, and we see there's a group of men at the table, and they're like, they've been listening, and one of them goes to grab his drink, and he looks at it, and he's like, ugh. And he looks up, and there's blood dripping onto their table from the floorboards up above.
Sorry, protection money?
Yeah, and Alan nods, and he's like, well, yeah, the money I have to pay the Flaming Fist every single time you come in here.
Sosorovo, the money they have to pay. Like,
There's a beat there.
Right. Sure. Yeah. No. Totally. Great. But yeah. Have 10 gold.
Okay. So you give him 10 gold.
Yep.
And he takes it and he says, that'll about cover it. Make sure I don't tell your superior officers the mess you made in here. Though things being what they are these days, I don't think they'd even care. This city's going straight to hell. Come on, Skooma. And he goes downstairs. And Skoona's got Deadeye and the two bandits. And she comes over to Tarina like, I'm gonna get this one.
I need that one.
But dead body.
I will take it out of here.
Dead body for you?
Yes.
But for why? To eat?
To talk to.
No talk to dead body. Dead body not talking.
You live in a city with wizards. I understand that you're not very intelligent, but like, notice
Skoona, while you're talking, Skoona's eyes are getting wider and wider, and she points, and she looks at you, Sethra, and she says, "Why does Hat talk?"
It's magic.
I flip it up, and there's a people underside.
Small people under Hat. Good trick. And she looks at the body and she looks at you and she says, "Okay," and picks up the three corpses and walks over, corpses under her arm, and she looks down and she shakes her head and she says, "Oh, poor Skraldar. Skraldar, one of the good ones. I am never knowing where Skraldar's eyebrows are going. Now he is dead. I will never learn." And she looks at you, Sathra, and she says, "You want also for talk?"
No.
"Come on, Skraldar," and picks him up. And she picks him up with her other arm like he's like a baby. Like she's just very gentle with him, like, "Oh, poor Skraldar." And then she carries her big corpse pile down the stairs to go and throw them into a gutter somewhere, or probably into the river. A good death for Deadeye and his friends and Skraldar.
So while Sathra's like pulling up her hood and like, getting her gear sort of back in order, she says, "Here's my thought. We bring the body to Captain Zodge." Was it?
Sure was.
Bring the body to Captain Zodge, and we say, "We couldn't get the information. She died in a fight in the bar. I'm sure Zodge has someone who can speak to her."
Do druids speak with dead?
Not at
can.
level 1, I don't
No, but
think.
can they? Could that be theoretically possible for her?
Let me check.
No, bards and clerics.
Oh,
No, I don't think so.
yeah. I was like, I had it, but I was
Animals and plants instead of dead people.
That's right. Okay, I was just checking. Okay, all right. So, yeah. I think Willow has gone over to the table and is drinking like whatever a beer.
Well, thanks for your well, I suppose you did for us. Yeah. Enjoy your drinks. You can finish mine as well.
And
let's get out.
She gives you a little salute and she says, "It was nice spending time with you. I had a lovely afternoon and I've got the bar all to myself." And she puts her little boots up on the table and then tips over backwards and falls down on the floor. And that's probably the last we see of Willow Brownbug for the time being. So where are you gonna go? You're gonna go back and try to find Zodge?
That was the plan, but we also have an unconscious druid, so
Yeah, you have too many bodies to carry.
yeah.
I'm not carrying one. I can't.
Yeah, no, you definitely can't.
You can ask them to loan you the Constra.
I feel like if you're gonna get loaned to anyone, it'll be Skoona.
Skoona's good. I like Skoona.
Just track the call. I tell you what I'll do.
You actually don't have to go you don't have to go anywhere. This place is an inn. So
I have a solution.
Yeah.
And I lean down next to Tarina's body and I pull the sword out, and there's this like hissing noise.
Okay.
Like not of steel, but of snakes.
Yeah.
Like draws it and just cuts Tarina's head off.
Well, okay, good. So downstairs, the guys at the table, one of them's like, "You think that's blood?" And I was like, "Oh, it's definitely blood." And then he's like, "You think it's stopped?" And he looks up. He's like, "I reckon it's stopped." He takes a drink, and then it's just like a gush of like splashes onto the table. And he's like, "Reckon I'm wrong." And like pours his beer out on the floor.
And I lean over to Sosurova and I'm like, all we need is the speaking part. If we have the speaking part, then whoever's going to talk to it can talk to it.
Well,
Solved.
not me. Not at this level, anyway.
I like tie Tarina's head to my belt via her hair.
Baldur's Gate, one of the only cities in the Forgotten Realms where you can probably walk around with someone's severed head on your belt and not be worried too about it.
And then go to hoist our cold November friend on my shoulder to like go from there.
Mm-hmm.
The dog walks so close to you that they're almost like tripping you up, like just like whining.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, chasing you around. Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, so I think it's reasonable that you could carry November. How strong are you, Sathra?
14.
Okay, yeah, totally. Not for long and not for, but like you could pick her up and carry her somewhere. I guess the question is like, where to?
Well, where did we meet Zodge? Let's go there. Or Flaming Fist headquarters where Captain would be.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably make Zodge come to you too. I was going to say before, this place is a tavern, so you could like get a room and rest here and you don't have to take November anywhere.
All right. Yeah, that works.
Like that's an option too, right?
I'm just like, I think Sathra is like very direct in terms of like the objective is do this thing. We haven't done it yet.
Yep. Nah, you could go like you'd have to find another Flaming Fist mercenary and be like, where's Captain Zodge? And then they'd go find out. Then they would tell you.
That does seem like more work.
But if you just found one on the street and you were like, go tell Captain Zodge, like point your badge and like.
Yeah, I'll okay, that's what I'll do. Out into the street with the badge on, like, put November back down and everything and just find some Flaming Fist guy. Yeah, there's a couple of Flaming Fist dudes standing on a street corner. They've just chased off some guild thieves, and so you come around the corner, you see them.
I have a little, a tiny scroll. It's only like kind of this big.
Yeah.
And I give it to you. And it's like, just give them that.
All right. And I take it and go.
Okay.
And I get outside and I see these guys just chasing off these guild guys. And I walk up to them and I'm like, afternoon. I serve the Flaming Fist. If you could just give them this message, give this message to Captain Zodge.
The soldier leans back and he scratches his stubbly chin. He says, "What a coincidence. We also serve the Flaming Fist."
That's what I figured.
And he sees your badge and he looks at you and he says, "You got some blood on you there."
There's a lot of blood upstairs in that tavern.
And he looks back and he says,
nightmarish, really.
"Well, I assume you've handled it, Deputy?"
Oh yes. This paper will explain to Captain Zodge what they need to see us about.
He nods. All right. And he takes a look at it and he goes to read it himself unless he's not allowed.
No, or whatever.
Okay. What does the scroll say on it?
He opens it, and it's my memory of dead on the floor.
Yes. And like the conversation and that's so cool.
Yeah, the conversation was like, "Oh, we can speak to her afterwards," and then the head getting cut off and stuff.
Yeah, and so they both, it's like watching two guys look at one guy's phone and they're watching like some kind of like gross out video. They're like, huh? Oh no, I can't. And the other guy's like barfs in an alley and he looks down at the scroll, looks at you a little pale now. He's like, "Well, y'all are serious business."
Like I said, it's important.
I'll find Zodge and I guess you're going to be needing a priest.
Yes, at the Song Tavern. We'll meet them there.
Got it. And he gives you a little and runs off and you hear the other guy like barfing into an alley. And I think you go back into the tavern. November, I imagine that you'll wake up on one of the like ratty beds of the elf song at one hit point.
Oh, good.
And we'll pick up. I think we'll pick up there next time. You get your second meeting with Captain Zodge. Congratulations, you did it. You survived the encounters, and like it'll be easier once Bryn has returned, right? Once we got our paladin, but like it seems to me that this adventure leans slightly harder than Mad Mage and definitely more challenging than Dragon Heist was.
Oof.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which is cool. So
Playing my non-combat character.
yeah. So that's a thing. So I'll be kind of like adjusting as we go for party balance and stuff. But for the most part, I'll try to play the adventure as is once Bryn has returned, which should be in just a couple episodes. So let me check. I think you might need to level up between bits.
Whoa.
I think
love not being level 1.
I know. I think the elf song is the only level 1 encounter. Let me double check.
Oh, praise be. Thank you. The encounter's ridiculous, but also
let's level you up to 2.
Okay.
Remind Lauren to level Bryn up to 2 when we come in.
Okay.
And we'll do that. So level yourselves up to 2. Let me know if you do that on these characters or if you want to wait and do it after we vault you into the next adventure, right? Because I have to make another copy tomorrow once I have the retail version.
We had 3 copies of this.
This is our third adventure. We had the alpha. This is the beta, and now we're gonna update.
The real question is, are we rolling HP?
And that does become the question. Does it not?
Yeah.
I mean, we can do it. We can do it each level. You can think on it, and we can do it at the beginning of the next session.
See, the thing is
I imagine Dave. As a wizard, Dave, you need all the HP you can get, right?
When we did the math for last series, rolling gave me a lower.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so I might just take we did the chance. We rolled for stats. It went okay. I don't need to.
I'm just gonna take the health. I think.
Yeah,
we've already chanced the gods, and with how hard this first session was, I think that we need to take as much HP as we can.
Yeah, that makes sense. And for folks asking, the first act has specific areas where you level up, and then I think it switches back to standard XP after level 5. I think that's how it goes. But I got to double check. We'll check it in the GM prep. Cool. Okay. So, next session, Captain Zodge will show up with a priest and they will speak with dead, and we can find out what Tarina knows about the Dead 3. In the meantime, between episodes, everybody here does like cool stuff on the internet. They stream, they make things. They're fun to follow on Twitter because they know more about Final Fantasy than any person alive.
That one wasn't me.
I will let them tell you where you can find them. Starting with great Dave Sosorovo down in the corner. Please, Dave.
Great Dave Sosorovo. My first time doing a proper character voice.
I really like it.
Thank you.
It's very good.
Thank you so much, everyone, for coming to session 1. I've been really excited about this. Other stuff. Sorry, I'm thinking about my spells. I'm like, what am I taking? 2 more spells. In between these sessions, though, like Adam mentioned, following me on Twitter is where I post things. Dave_the_human. And does Code Vein come out this week or is it the week after?
Pretty soon. Yeah.
I'm going to stream that. I don't know whether it's this week or next week.
Nice.
But that, if you'd like to follow my Twitch as well, is Dave_human.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you. Up above, great Dave. November Solace ... Blue Jay, please.
I noticed people in chat noticing that it's a very Friends at the Table name. Thank you. I've been watching a lot of Friends at the Table, and they do some great names. So glad to have been inspired. I mean, not to reference something I have absolutely no association with, but if you're listening to podcasts, that's a really good one too.
It is. I agree.
You can also listen to this as a podcast
That's right.
If you guys are unaware that it comes on YouTube and in podcast form. So lots of options. You can find me most of the time over on Twitter, bluejay_712, not at Twitter handle anymore. You can also find me some days on Twitch, twitch.tv/bluejay, and some days on my Patreon. Patreon is just bluejay712. And then, yeah, I'm going to be running my second session of Vampire the Masquerade at Penny Arcade on Wednesday. So I'm a little bit nervous.
I'm sure you'll do great. Just practice your fake Transylvanian accent. Vampire players love that.
I'm sure they do.
And last but not least, playing Sathra Coldblood seems to be, at least until Bryn shows up, it seems like you're the boss. Elf, you're the boss.
I might still be.
You might still be.
Bryn shows up.
We'll see.
I don't know. All right. Well, I wait. I gotta get the voice again. Where is it? Hello. You can find me at twitch.tv/distractedelf or on Twitter at distractedelf. I do lots of live streaming and general sort of internet stuff. Currently, lots of classic WoW and Warhammer Total War.
So I watched you play a little Total War. It was cool. Cool. Well, thank you. The first session of a new adventure is always so like nerve-wracking and exciting because you're like, is my character gonna work? Is the voice gonna be fun? Is chat gonna like it? Thank you for coming, everybody, and making that process much easier on us. I love running Dungeons and Dragons for an audience, and I am so excited to see you here. If you want to, if this is the first part of this adventure you've seen, if you tuned in for episode 1, you want some more background stuff, we did an episode last week where we made all the characters. We go into detail about some of our ideas behind building them, so you can get some character secrets if you go and check that out. You can also watch my Dungeon Master prep for Chapter 1, which should take us through at least another 2 or 3 episodes. You can check that out. It's all on the Roll20, as Blue Jay mentioned, right on the YouTube Roll20 app, or you can find the podcast version and give it a listen wherever you listen to things. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. I have been honored to be your Dungeon Master. I'm Adam Coble. You can find me at Adam Coble on Twitch. I think that's it. I think we're gonna go. Thank you for coming, everybody. We will see you next time in Hell or Baldur's Gate. I can't tell the difference. Whether you're a brand new fan or a longtime viewer, you can support the show and the cast of Roll20 Presents by going to roll20.net/start/Roll20 Presents and signing up for a free account. Dungeon Masters will find maps, tokens, and a cornucopia of exciting tools to improve their game. Players will gain access to built-in character sheets with support for dozens of different role-playing games. No matter what role you take, our quantum randomized dice roller is there to keep the action moving. Don't wait to join the party. Sign up today at roll20.net/start/Roll20 Presents.